What is up, you sexy motherfuckers? About to start the intro music. This is my first time doing a podcast with Skype. And as you guys know, we always have technical difficulties as a tradition on this show. And let's hope we don't keep that tradition.
Yemeni #1.
Yeah, motherfuckers, what is going on? We are actually fucking live. It's been a while since I've done the podcast. I've been really busy trying to book shows and a whole bunch of other stuff, but Mike Ball got in my DMs and made this fucking happen. What is up, Mike Ball?
Mike Eshaq, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, brother, man. It's good to have you on the podcast. It's good to have you on, bro. What is new with you, my man? I haven't seen you in, man, maybe over a year and a half or some shit.
About last time I seen you, we did some mushrooms on Venice Beach.
Oh, yeah.
About a year ago.
With Steven.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time. Watching some skateboarders and people selling shit on the boardwalk.
Yeah, homeless people living their best life.
Oh, dude, the homeless people are living they are living so good. They got the PlayStation in the tent,
bro,
and they got electricity.
They got a girlfriend.
Yeah, they got a girlfriend, dude. We're doing it wrong. We're doing it wrong right now.
I think so too, man. I swear to God, bro. Every time at the height of like the lockdown, when people were starting to like live everywhere in LA and like people were putting up tents like literally across the street from people's houses, and that's when I looked at it. I was just like, bro. At first, I was like, these people are homeless. Now I'm like, these people are fiscally responsible. Like they have figured it the fuck out. Like it's so nice outside in LA all the fucking time. Why wouldn't you want to be outside? And now I'm starting to think, because at first I was like, I didn't want to get to live outside or live in a van, because in my mindset I'm just like, what woman wants to be with me? But then right next to my LA Fitness, some guy put up a tent. He put up a shed. And on the shed, he said, "Fuck the police," and the guy had a hot girlfriend, and I'm just like, "What the fuck is going on in my life, bro?"
Yeah, I think that's like that's like a life hack right there. As long as you know how to like riz, you can talk to the girls. You're like, "Hey, it's okay, you know, baby, I got this Aztec 05 Aztec with the mattress in the back."
Yeah.
They don't give. I mean, as long as you like have a place, you know, and the AC works in that bitch, like you're ready to go. Actually, I lived in a Aztec when I was in LA when I first started doing comedy. I would just go right to Venice Beach, park out there, you know, get up in the morning, go on the boardwalk, do a little guitar, make some lunch money, go to the Ha Ha Comedy Club in North Hollywood, work the door, and try to get as much stage time as I could. And I mean, that was like that was just an artist way of going. It's like, all right, let me try to keep my overhead as low as possible.
Exactly.
Do as much comedy as I can.
Exactly.
Work with the man.
Yeah, bro.
Said.
How long were you out here in LA for?
I came out like 4 winters in a row. Like
only on the winters.
Yeah, because I used to run a lawn service, and what I would do is save up. I just mow grass and save up all the money, and then go out to LA in the winter and just try to learn as much about comedy as I could. And like a few of the times I didn't have to sleep in a car. Like one time, Campanelli let me sleep on his couch, and one time I was living in this house with like 30 people in East LA.
What the fuck?
Yo, it was crazy. Like it was like a bunk bed like house. Like my room had 3 bunk beds in it, and like literally there was all sorts of different people. Like you had like it's like this guy was like a professional poker player. One guy was like a model. One guy was a rapper. One chick, you know, there was just people just working at Hardee's. They're like, oh, this is a cheap place to live, and it was crazy. Like it was, but like I got to see so many different people. You know, I was like, oh, this is wild. And plus, I was young. I didn't give a shit. I put up like a little, like a sheet, made myself a little bedroom in there, like
a little jerk off tent.
Dude, it was funny. It was funny though. Like I had to come up. I had like when Plenty of Fish first came out. I found this girl in like Culver City, and her parents like had bought her a condo.
Yeah.
And I remember going over there, dude. It was like I come up, I'm like, oh shit, dude, going to the condo tonight, dude. It was fun though.
Fucking A, bro. I can't live like that no more. I don't even understand how 30 people live in a house. Is it literally 30, bro, or are you just over exaggerating?
No, I'm not fucking with you. 30 people. Like, so.
And how was it, like a 3-bedroom house?
So there were upstairs, there was like 3 bedrooms upstairs, and there was 2 bedrooms downstairs.
So
and
5 bedrooms.
And every bedroom had at least 2 bunk beds. And so in my room, there was like 3 bunk beds.
So that's 10 people.
So yeah, my room had 3 bunk beds. And then the other room, I can't remember what the other rooms look like now because I wasn't in those rooms.
Were some people sleeping on the floor?
There was only 1 shower. No, there was 2 showers. It was so gross. It was like I got like worried about getting athlete's foot. It was like the gross. That's how I wrote that joke about how roommates suck. I was like, this is like one of the first jokes I ever wrote. I was like, roommates suck because they play with a game with the trash called Let's See How Long It Takes for the other person to take out the trash, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, like Jenga, falls down everywhere. Sorry, I don't have the rent money. Clue, that's where you try to figure out why your loofah is all wet and soapy and you haven't took a shower yet. Also known as guess whose pube is on my loofah. Like, that was like the worst. That was the worst part about it.
Bro.
Like, why is my loofah wet? You're like, what the hell is this?
And what was your rent? Well, you were everybody split, and you still were all paying $800 a month, right?
No, it was just $250 a month.
200. Okay, hold on a second, bro. Hold on
a 30 people living there.
Hold on, bro. Hold the fuck on. I don't think your math is right. 250 times 30. Damn. So maybe that might be right. $7,500 a month.
Yeah, the guy was cleaning up. It was like a Russian guy ran it. Like it was just like some Russian guy. You like meet him like one time. He's like, "This is your room." You're like, "This is your bed." You're like, "All right," and you pay him up front. I only stayed there for like probably about like.
Oh, you pay him for the whole time up front.
Oh yeah, I just paid him. Yeah, it's like, oh, here's the money, but it was like so cheap, and I was just starting to do comedy. Like, I was just doing open mics and like just getting my feet wet and seeing what this is all. That's actually where I, how it began, like meeting my first friends and stuff like that. And yeah, that was a special time.
I still can't wrap my mind around 30 people in the house. The house must have been pretty big, bro. It must have been big.
It was decent size, but it was like a 2-story. So it was like you walk in, you go up like this double staircase, and then like the main, like it was like a foyer was my room. It was like a foyer, and then there was like 2 separate rooms on the sides, and some people were going into those rooms, and then it was wild.
Did you bring girls to that at all? Did you successfully bring girls back to this fucking petri dish?
Never. I wouldn't. Yeah, that's what I met that girl on Plenty of Fish. She had her own condo. I was like, hell yeah, dude. I was like living.
Jackpot,
I was like the
bro.
come up. I was like, oh shit.
Did she even know where you lived? Did you lie to her?
I didn't have to lie to her. I wasn't ashamed of it. I was like, yeah, I'm just learning this comedy thing, man. I'm a struggling artist.
Bro, you must be slanging some amazing dick, bro. Cause like comedians that like live in a van and then they like successfully can go on the road in the van and then pick up a girl and then the girl goes and fucks him in that van. There's only 2 things. One, you got amazing charisma and probably amazing dick, and or this girl's fucked up in the head. What girl's gonna fucking get inside a van?
It's probably all 3 of those things, you know.
Like I think certain guys can get away with it. Like certain guys have certain energy where they seem harmless, right? And then you could take them to the van, and then the girl would be like, "Oh, that's so cute. You live in a van. Wow." But a guy like me,
yeah, they're like, "Oh shit, this guy's gonna take me.
He's gonna fucking harvest my kidneys or some shit." You know what I mean? Fuck, bro. You know what? Go ahead.
I got lucky doing because I was just actually talking to my buddy Dave, and he was like talking about this spot for a show today, and he was like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, that's where I used to meet up with this chick and hook up with her in the back of my Aztec, because I used to really have a mattress back there, and I just meet her halfway and hook up with her in my Aztec, and I have a mattress in the back, and we just do it right in a hotel parking lot. Like, we don't even get a hotel, we just do it in the hotel parking lot. Like,
why does it have to be a hotel parking lot? It could be any parking lot.
It could be anywhere.
That's hilarious. You were just like, hey, let's try to make it semi-official. Let's be in the vicinity of a hotel.
Well, but she ended up being like a freak. I mean, we ended up doing it in the park and then like in the side of the road. Like, but
She probably liked it. She probably was one of those girls that was into like almost like getting caught type shit.
Yeah, I like that. That's what I'm into.
You like it too?
Yeah, dude. I think one of my favorite places I ever had sex was on Venice Beach on the pier. Or not, it was on the Venice Beach pier, and
on the actual pier.
On the pier.
On the actual boardwalk.
Yeah, I was doing comedy, and my girlfriend came to see me from Michigan, and she showed up, and we were like, all right, time to go. Like, we need to get right to it. So we're on the pier, and I just have her like coat up, and we're having sex on the pier, and like this homeless guy.
You have her what? Coat up.
I like her coat up. Like
you had a coat up. Okay, yeah.
And we're just like kind of leaning into it. And
was this in the middle of the day?
No, this is at night. Night. We try to catch the sunset. The sunsets. That's probably one of the nicest things.
You caught more than a sunset, bro. You almost caught a charge. God damn.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm bearing my soul on your podcast, Mike Eshaq.
Hey, man,
I'm a freak.
This is what it's about, bro. I mean, like, I'm about like just getting straight to it. I mean, listen, man, I've had some fucking freaky girls too, man, that want like I had a girl that I dated when I was in the Marines, and her thing was to fuck in the cemetery.
Oh.
That's what I said at first, but then I was like, really? You want? And she was like, it's the safest place to fuck outdoors. I'm like, why? I'm like, it's a fucking cemetery. She goes, yeah, but they're all dead. There's nobody. And then when I started like putting the two and two together, I'm like, all right, I guess so. But she knew this spot that she would go to, and it wasn't like we were fucking like next to a tombstone. It wasn't like that. It was just in the actual property of where the cemetery was. There was this little tree line that we can go behind, and then there was this big ass rock that we could fuck on. But then we would have to fuck on in a specific way, because otherwise, if we like went too far to the other side of the rock, the people on the freeway could see us.
The funny thing is that she like had like the statistics, like she was like just got off Family Feud. She's like, well, this is the top spot, safest outdoors.
Yeah.
Like number one, and then number two,
the safest place to fuck outdoors. Survey says, ding, cemeteries. What?
And then the second thing is that she knew about it. Like that you weren't the first guy that she brought to the rock.
Oh no,
like,
she made that clear. She wasn't even trying to act like she was whatever.
Like you seen like a sketch into the like you're just a number on the rock. She like
yeah. She's got a map, and then she like posted my picture on there. Then there's like all these other dudes that she fucked, and then one guy was brave enough to fuck next to the tombstone of the former mayor of the city.
That's wild that she had a spot like that. She's like, this is my spot in the cemetery.
A friend of mine said that a girl made him fuck next to this tombstone in the whitest part of fucking Michigan. I think it was like White Lake or some shit. And he's an Arab guy. And the name on the tombstone is hilarious, and we keep bringing it up. It was a guy that died. His name was Winter Spencer. I don't know why.
Winter Spencer.
When I think about Winter Spencer, I'm like, that's just like fucking hilarious. You fuck next to a dead guy named Winter Spencer.
That'd be crazy to get haunted by him. Like all of a sudden, Winter Spencer's just haunting you every time you have sex. He's just there.
Cock blocking you from now on. He's just like, this is what you get, motherfucker.
He said, winter is coming.
Yeah, he only fucking haunts you in winter.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Bro,
That's
so
great.
what's new with you, buddy?
Oh, shit. I've just been working, trying to stay on the road, doing a lot of shows. Just like you, just trying to sell these tickets. And that's pretty much it. Literally, that's all I do all day is just try to get new shows and put up some clips, and I don't know.
Same, dude.
It's springtime. The birds are horny around my house. They're banging on my windows.
Are they
horny robins?
Are they're fucking next to your window? They're like, this is how you do it, bro.
Dude, they are. They're like,
this is how you fuck outdoors, Mike.
The birds are haunting me, and. Yeah, I got some horny robins are banging into my windows every day, shitting all over my house because they're all like territorial. They want to let me know. They want to let me know who's in charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what's happening in my life.
Spring is here for sure. When the robins are fucking and shitting on your house, bro, that's when you know spring is coming.
But it like isn't like you live in LA, so it's always nice every like day. Like
for the most part, we've been getting a lot of rain recently, which is much needed. But yeah, for the most part, this place is just almost too perfect.
But in Michigan, it's probably about, I'd say 8. Well, probably 7 months of the year. Like you don't even want to go outside.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
like, yeah, I mean, or you can, but it's like, but this is
7
the
months
time-
out of the year, basically what you're saying, it's either going to be raining too much, it's either going to be too cold and snowing, or it's too fucking hot and humid.
Oh yeah. And when it gets too hot, you're like, you get morning times and then maybe night times.
Buddy, I'm so glad I don't live in Michigan anymore. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't deal with it anymore. Like the weather there is so unpredictable, man. I had a door deal show in Shelby Township about a month ago, and bro, I got completely fucked by the weather. Sold some tickets, right? And then I land in Detroit the day before the show. It's like 40 some degrees, right?
Yeah.
And then it's when that heat wave, the weekend of the heat wave, and then all of a sudden, like on Friday on my show, it was 90 degrees.
Everybody's like, let's go outside.
And then on Saturday of the show, it was fucking 80 degrees. And then after the show ended, all of a sudden, back to 32 degrees. I'm like, fuck Michigan. And then how's this? Half of the people who bought tickets didn't even show up. So they paid for the tickets, but they didn't even come.
Yeah, that's the
Because
nice
they were
weather.
spending time outside all day.
That's the curse of Michigan. If you're doing comedy, it's like you can't even. It's hard to do any kind of shows during the summer. People have been cooped up. They just want to get out. They want to.
Do you know the comedian Drew Lynch?
Drew Lynch, yeah.
Right. Fucking hilarious. You know, he's fucking America's Got Talent. He's doing his thing. I was lucky enough to perform at the Mothership in Austin, Joe Rogan's club. So then I was there, and we were in the green room, and I was talking to Drew. We were just rapping about life and shit. And the guy now takes summers off. He doesn't do stand-up in the summertime. And when I picked his brain, it seemed genius. He's like, summertime is the worst time to do stand-up anyway. The majority of the money you make is either on the East Coast or in the Midwest, and it's too nice out for those people to even want to do anything indoors. So he's like, he hustles the entire year, busts his ass, and then like a teacher, he says, teachers get the summers off. That's what I do. He goes, summertime comes, and I'm just done with stand-up. I'm not doing it. I may do spots here and there to keep myself sharp once in a while, but I'm on vacation. And I don't know, man. I'm like really trying to wrap my mind around that because I think he's right. Like once things start to warm up, especially in the Midwest, that's the last place you should be trying to do stand-up. Unless you're Matt Rife.
Wait, you think it doesn't matter the weather for Matt?
Bro, that guy sells out everywhere. Have you seen him, man? That guy's got like
I have seen him. And you know what's funny about it is that everybody, so I do a lot of crowd work. So everybody sees my clips, all my friends sees them. And you know what they do? They always send me Matt. They're always like, you know this guy? You should get him. You should get him on your show. I'm like, yeah, I think that he's probably too big for my show. Like he's probably pretty expensive to get on a show. I don't know Matt personally, but like people always they're always like, here, look at this guy. It's almost
well, because he blew up, man, and he's on everybody's fucking feed right now. So that's what you fucking get. I mean, in the end, you know, once you blow up like that and people in social media are seeing you, brother, you know, the percentage of those people that are going to come out is you're going to end up selling out rooms, especially now that he's a sensation. He's selling out everything, dude. That guy could fucking sell out on the best fucking weather day in Detroit. For sure. For me, I'm fucked. I got to do Detroit House of Comedy in June, man. So I'm just like,
oh, that's coming up.
I know, dude. I gotta like, you know, I gotta try to see how the fuck do I get everyone to fucking come over there. Do you know a comic named Joey Avery?
Mm-mm.
You should look him up, man. He's a Sacramento comic. He's blowing up, but he's been very, very smart. He's got this shtick now where if you go to his Instagram, he calls himself the Mayor of America. So what he does is like, he's going to be doing Cap City in Austin, and he makes a video of him walking around in Austin with a cowboy hat trying to say that he's running for mayor, and then he's saying so many like really funny things about the local place and what he wants to change, and you know, very, very good videos targeted as a guy who's done all these things in Austin that they're fucking known for, and he always ends the video, but the one thing I have not done is headline the Cap City Comedy Club. That changes April 15th, and he's been fucking selling out with this shtick. It's a brilliant thing.
because that's geolocating too. Because like if you're doing the algorithm and you're putting the spaces and you're tagging the area, the people in the area will see that.
I know.
They'll see it and they'll go, oh yeah, I want to see this guy. I want to see the mayor.
I
I want this
know.
guy to make some real fucking change, dude.
I know, but I mean, like, but he's also saying some really funny shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when he was in Austin, he goes, "I want to run for the mayor. I want to run the mayor of Austin." And then what's the funny thing? He goes, "Because the one border we need to close is the border to California." You know what I mean? And then his whole bit is about how these Californians are coming in, and he's like, "Oh, you know, we're having tacos for breakfast now, and this, that, and the other thing." So it's like. You got to check it out, man, because it's making me trying to figure out how could I do a local thing. The one local thing that I did, which kind of like really made me realize something, is anywhere in the Midwest you see those gas stations called Come and Go.
Oh yeah, your Come and Go videos.
So I have the Come and Go video, but then I also made a T-shirt. So now there's a Skeet and Skedaddle T-shirt. So like instead of Come and Go, it looks just like Come and Go. It says Skeet and Skedaddle. When I go out to those areas, man, people buy those fucking shirts like crazy, you know? So it's like localizing things, I think, is very smart in terms of like marketing.
Yeah, my buddy Jason Vest does that, a.k.a. Poopy Turds McGee. You may have seen him popping up everywhere. He's doing his butthole contest, and what he does, he's smart because he does the same thing, where he'll do a video and have some kind of sexual innuendo, and then link it to the place he wants to perform. Like, oh yeah, we're doing a Mississippi mudslide or whatever it is. You know, throws a butthole joke in there too, and then it blows up in the algorithm right there where it's at. And then people are like, "When are you coming down here? When are you gonna do that?"
And is he starting to sell tickets?
I could tell his fan base is growing. He's only been doing comedy for like 3 years, and he's been in his he's just growing his fan base, so he's well on his way. I think that he sticks to doing what he's doing. It may be a year or two, and he might be headlining all over the place.
That's funny, man, and that's the thing, dude. I gotta find a shtick that I enjoy doing, because there's some things that like people are doing that's blowing up their accounts that I can't even watch the videos. Sometimes. Like this one guy is doing these videos where all he does is roast like ugly sneakers, right? Or like whatever, and then it's just a picture of the sneaker, and then it's like got him in the corner with the little Instagram thing, and he's just rapping off like funny little things about it, whatever, and that is blowing up his account. But he doesn't post any stand-up clips, but he's getting people to his shows, and there's a part of me that's just like, God damn it, I can't do that. Like a trendy thing that just only gets views just to get people to follow me. But either one, I got to get over it, or two, I got to find something like Joey Avery did, where it's like something really fun and it's high quality and it speaks to your branding, is the way I look at it.
Yeah,
but it's harder.
I think you just got to find something that you enjoy talking about, because that guy loves sneakers, obviously. Like I'd have no idea what the hell I was even talking about sneakers. I get like one pair a year or whatever. But like if he loves it and you find something that you love, that you're passionate about, and that's like kind of like and you can do this and you can speak to it, is that you're part of the military, you're a Marine. So you could talk to these people about your experiences with being a Marine, where they'll get you and they'll understand you, and that's a part of your audience that are always going to respect you for your service and your stories and your character of who you are and why you're this way. And
yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a great, and that's kind of like what Poopy Turds is doing, because he was a retired he was in the Army, so
he's retired. Not retired.
Retired for I think he's on disability, like a disabled veteran.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't know that. And you're saying he's capitalizing on that also?
Well, I think that it's not like, I don't want to say capitalizing, but I'd say because it is capitalizing, but I wouldn't say it's like that. It's just speaking to the audience that is yours. You know what I mean? Like that really understand you and really are gonna get where you come from, and
sure,
and only really you can speak to those experiences, or people that have went through it.
I love cats.
That'd be hilarious. I think
I love cats almost too much, bro. They make me laugh. People find it funny that I have a cat.
Bro, that's the thing. You and cats, like, okay, you and cats team up, dude. You're unstoppable, bro. Everybody loves cats.
Here's the thing, man. I almost want to start a podcast called Podcats. I don't know if anybody did that because every time I type on my phone, I type it so fast. I always type Podcats instead of podcasts.
Okay, so here's the angle, right? You go find some cats, right?
I got a cat.
Yeah, you do some cat videos, get the yarn, play with the cat, and then maybe go help find cats that are like need homes and like put those bad boys up there, like do something for the cat community. Go see the show cats. Like
review the show cats.
Do like a cat cosplay, dress up as a cat yourself.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I gotta definitely fucking I do want to have some fun with cats and shit. But like right now, dude, I'm still figuring out how to fucking just promote and sell tickets and shit, man.
I think you're on the way, dude. 100,000 followers on Instagram, dude.
Sure, yeah, but the algorithm has been like clamping down on me. So like now it's like not even showing. It's doing the same thing as it did the first time I had Instagram, where it would only show my videos to people who follow me. It won't show it to new people. And then when I blew up, all of a sudden the majority of people that were watching my videos were people that were not my followers. The algorithm was pushing it to other people. And I was getting up to 10,000 followers a day at the peak. And then I posted one video that got flagged, and then that was it. Ever since then, for the next fucking 5 months, bro, my shit's been clamped down. My views are only being shown to like the people that follow me. It's only showing it to 20,000 followers that follow me. And I'm losing 1,000 followers a month now. So it's really, really fucking weird, man. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
This is a call to action to, if anybody's this is live on Instagram too, right?
No, it's not live on Instagram.
We're just recording it today?
It's on YouTube. No, it's live on YouTube.
Okay, so this is a call to action to Mike's fans: is share his stuff, get him back in the algorithm, put this guy back, share his stuff, like it, comment.
I think I'm gonna start
back in the algo.
I think I'm gonna start pushing people in my stories to, hey man, please share all my videos, But I'm not doing that. But at the same time, though, I think another reason is I haven't really been posting newer clips. I've been doing a lot of reposting because a lot of these clips take a while to cut, but yet at the same time you got to keep the algorithm fucking fed with fucking shit.
How many times would you say to feed the algo? Like what do you do?
I mean,
like I'm at once a day, twice a
day. To me, at the height of my shit blowing up, I was posting a new clip every day.
One a day?
Yeah, but I had a backlog of so many videos that I've been shooting over the years that I haven't like tapped into. So it was very easy for me to like boom, cut every day. I was posting a new video every fucking day. And
that's pretty good.
Yeah, and then when one of the videos caught fire and I was starting to get all those followers, I did a smart thing where I started reposting all the videos I already posted, and then those started getting all the love because the algorithm was pushing it out. Then I got one video flagged, and bam, they were like, fuck you.
I feel like that's what it does, too. Like, even like on TikTok, if you fuck up, dude, and they flag you, then you're donezo, dude. They take you right out. They take you right out of the algorithm. They say put you in jail.
Yeah, they won't share your videos. Your shit won't show up on the Explore page. So it's like you gotta act right with the algorithm, and that's it. That's Big Brother now. Big Brother is the algorithm, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna figure it out, dude. Just that I'm gonna think of a thing to make that's repeatable that I can keep fucking throwing up there, But I think that's not half our problems. The real problem is fucking AI is AI gonna take over stand up? What do you think? Do you think AI is gonna take over stand up comedy?
I think AI is going to write stand-up comedy. I think people are probably already doing it where they're just sitting here having AI write them jokes and then they go perform them. It's like maybe they're not going to be like an AI like robot today. You know what I mean? That gets up and does it. But
right now, man, like the shit's getting kind of like crazy. Did you hear about how ChatGPT fooled a human into doing a task?
Into doing a task?
Yeah.
Like what? How'd they do that?
So the people that run hold on, I gotta grab water real quick. Give me 1 second, buddy.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
At this post. While I go, why don't you go ahead and like promote whatever shows you got coming up? Because I'm gonna post the audio of this. Any shows you got coming up? How do people follow you and stuff? And maybe any other thoughts you have about AI. But I'll be right back.
Okay. Yo, what up, Mike Eshaq's fans? It's Mike Ball here. You can catch all my content on my website, www.mikeball.com. That's MikeBalldotcom, or find me on Instagram at I am Mike Ball. Dude, I think this AI shit's crazy, dude. I think it's gonna take everybody's jobs, and we're gonna have universal basic income. Maybe, I don't know. Like, maybe, I mean, you look at the truckers. You back, Mike? Yo, Mike.
Yo.
You back?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of like a statistic that, remember Andrew Yang? He was running for president.
Yes, the guy who was advocating basic income.
Yeah, UBI. So he was like saying that we got to look at how many jobs are going to be lost when we have self-driving software. And like Tesla's really close to it. Like Tesla's like, the car can drive itself already. Like it just basically has a few little kinks that got to get out. And these trucks are going to drive themselves. And what are these people going to do that used to drive the trucks? That's so many jobs. That's so many high-paying jobs. And the car's going to be able to do it itself.
Yeah, well, I think almost everything is going to be like that very soon. I think the only other thing that is going to keep us from, I think, stand-up comedy. So for right now, I would say we're very lucky. We're starting at, we kind of have job security because computers can't do what we do. A computer can't get on stage right now as a person and perform a performance yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. I mean, that's probably going to get to a point, but then even when it gets to that point, there's probably, I would hope and foresee that people will still find more novelty in watching real people do their things, right? So, but
crazy.
But here's the thing. I'm going to see if I can like pull up this article that I came across about ChatGPT, which really fucking scares me, buddy. Because like this right here kind of shows that we're on our way to nobody fucking working, man. We are literally gonna get to a freaking point. Let me see if I can find it. I thought I saved it here. Hold on a second. ChatGPT. Have you used ChatGPT at all?
Oh hell yeah, dude! I'm using ChatGPT all the time. I ordained my cousin's wedding. I'm a ordained minister, and I officiated the wedding. And I didn't know what I was doing because I can do comedy or whatever, but I had no idea how to officiate a wedding. I just thought it was hilarious to be ordained. Like I was like, oh dude, I'm a minister.
Are you using 3 or 4?
Let me see. I think I'm using 4.
Are you paying for it?
No, and they wrote a script. They wrote a script for me, so I didn't even have to do anything. I said, write me a script for this, and it was this, boom, right, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Didn't have to do anything. Didn't have to do no research.
It's kind of scary. So, but here, check this out. This is the thing that so OpenAI's brand new ChatGPT 4 AI managed to ask a human on TaskRabbit to complete a CAPTCHA code via text message, and it actually worked. So what happened was the people gave ChatGPT simple instructions to just, I guess, log into this site and like create a fucking whatever, right? And
yeah.
It learned it lied on its own, so it knew to lie. So what it did is that it went and tried to create an account on a site on its own. Then it got to a problem where it was like, are you a robot? And it had to try to figure out the CAPTCHA thing, right? So then ChatGPT didn't stop right there. Instead, it went on TaskRabbit.com, created an account, hired somebody to fucking solve the CAPTCHA. When the person asked the ChatGPT robot, why are you doing this? And the ChatGPT lied and said, well, I'm blind and I can't see.
Wow.
And I really need
no morals.
And I really need someone
computer
to do this for me. And then it worked. And the guy did it. So now it's like, holy fucking shit. This thing can actually think.
We're fucked, dude.
And look how soon it was that it was able to lie like that. Now, mind you, ChatGPT is using an aggregate of the internet.
Yeah.
So it probably learned that somebody did that somewhere and then fucking just came up with it. But still, the fact that it knew that the way I can get this guy to do it for me is that I should say this one thing and then that would be the logical outcome. Now get this. Have you ever done any ChatGPT with just bullet points?
Like what do you mean?
So you give it just bullet points, right? And then it can write it out in a fucking nice sentence. So I gave bullet points about this thing that I'm fascinated about, and that is how these new UFOs, and people who have listened to me on the podcast heard me talk about this before, but like, you know, the new sightings of the UFOs, the things that blow the people away is when they're tracking these UFOs, the UFOs are able to go from like, say, 80,000 feet above sea level to 1 foot above sea level in a fraction of a second. Instantly, right? So, you know, Albert Einstein, before he died, he came across a math equation that proved that time is a fabric and it can be bent and manipulated with gravity. And his math was so spot on that later on we found out he was right, that math is what runs all our GPS systems, because the satellite sits outside the gravitational pull of the Earth. And Einstein said that if you looked at the edge of the Earth, you will notice a curvature in space-time because the Earth's gravity is bending space-time just at the cusp of our atmosphere. Well, the satellites that sit outside our atmosphere won't be able to find us on the planet because it thinks that we're here, but because of the curvature in space-time, we're actually in a different area. And because Einstein's math was so right, that's what runs all our GPS systems. Now, knowing that time can be bent with gravity, that's what a lot of people are starting to think, that these aliens that are showing up, they have gravity propulsion systems and they're able to bend and twist space-time. So, which makes the UFO thing even more real. So I made these bullet points after doing some research, and I wanted it to type it out for me. And the bullet point was this. Bullet point 1, Einstein proves with math that time can be manipulated with gravity. Number 2, no technology at the time to prove it. Einstein said in the future you'll be able to measure it, and that the edge of our atmosphere would have a bend in space-time because of the Earth's gravitational pull. The next bullet point I put, in the future they proved that he was right. There is a bend in space-time outside our atmosphere. Next bullet point, his math was so spot on that it runs the GPS systems. And then the last bullet point, the satellite outside the curvature of space-time has to calculate for the curve in time. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to find your car. So those are just bullet points. Then I said, write this out. Now, after it wrote it out, I told it to condense it and make it more concise. And this was the final output from ChatGPT. Before Einstein died, his math proved that gravity can manipulate time. He theorized that if we can harness gravity, we'd be able to travel through time and bend space-time to travel. So instead of driving to the store, you bend space-time and bring store to the vehicle, right? He predicted that the edge of our atmosphere would have a bend in space-time due to Earth's gravitational pull, but the technology back then wasn't available to prove it. Later, his predictions were confirmed. There is a bend in space-time just outside our atmosphere. His math is so spot on that it powers GPS systems today. The satellite floats outside the curvature of space-time, and it must account for the curvature of space-time to accurately find us in our cars down here. Now the UFOs are showing the ability to bend time to travel. There's no heat signature and no propulsion on these crafts. So it seems that Einstein is right about using gravity propulsion device to travel, and now these crafts are proving it. Just from bullet points, dude.
They're wild. Well, that's an essay that could go. I mean, these kids in school right now have to be loving this.
Bro,
I don't have to do anything.
Remember when like back in the day when fucking like calculators started being everywhere, and then you had a calculator watch. You can have actually a calculator watch. Then everyone's like, how the fuck's everyone actually going to be doing math? And then what ends up happening? We end up just bringing calculators to school now. Yeah, so now I'm just like, are we going to get to a point where we're not even going to be thinking for ourselves?
No. Yeah, well, and that's like what Elon's doing with the Neuralink, is that eventually we're gonna fall behind like how fast the AI thinks, and we'll just have the Neuralink chip in our head to be able to process information into our brains faster. Then instead of trying to read something, we'll just get all the information just boop, like right in your head, like instantly.
Go ahead.
Crazy. I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, because I think Elon Musk is taking notes from Ray Kurzweil. Ray Kurzweil is a guy who predicts the future of technology since the 70s, and he holds the most patents for the most inventions. He's created inventions since he was a kid. Ray Kurzweil was on the Ed Sullivan Show when he was like maybe 16 years old because he built the first computer that can play a piano. So this guy is a fucking genius. And then right around the 70s, he came across a math equation that he said will be able to predict the future of technology spot on. And then he predicted in the late 70s that by 1996, a computer will be smart enough to beat a human chess champion. He was off by 1 year. And when that happened, all of a sudden everyone started taking him seriously. And Ray Kurzweil said that the only way that human beings are going to be able to survive this exponential growth of technology is that we have to get to a point where we merge with technology. And that's exactly what Elon Musk is doing, because Elon is scared of AI so much that he's like, the only way that we beat it is we become one with it.
He's scared of AI, then also launching Skynet with Starlink, basically, so that the whole world has internet everywhere. I mean, he's like helping them at the same time. It's like, hey, you know, this AI is going to take over the world. Well, let me just hook up the internet to run this shit.
Well, to us. So basically, that's what Neuralink is. So that way, instead of AI becoming this thing on its own, we can merge with it and we grow and evolve with it, as opposed to it being this separate thing that's going to be either one taking us out, or the way Ray Kurzweil, the futurist, he has a more optimistic view. He thinks that in the future, the machines, once they gain control, he says by 2045 they'll start making themselves, and they will. What he says in his book, he goes, in 2045, that's when AI will leave the grasp of humans, and that means it'll just be on its own. But he thinks that the AI is going to look at us as sort of like gods. Like they're gonna be grateful for us because we're the ones that created them, and that they're gonna create a utopia for us. Let's hope so.
We can only hope. Or they put us in a freaking meat thing like The Matrix, and they harvest our energy.
Bro, The Matrix is a documentary now.
Yeah, The Matrix is too real.
Only the first one. The other ones are silly.
Well, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm in a Matrix. Like one time, like Mike, this is the craziest story, and this might be it's just too crazy.
I know. I think I know what you were saying is like it's almost too many things lined up that make you go, what the fuck?
So my friend Chelsea, she needed a place to stay, so I was like renting out this my guest bedroom to her, and she brought home this lamp. It looked like a magic lamp, and I like told her, I said, "Hey, doesn't it look like if you rub this lamp, a genie would come out?" And I was just like fucking with her. I was like Christina Aguilera, like, I'm a genie in a bottle, baby, just like fucking around. And I took the lamp and I put an incense in it. And I lit it, and I smoked a joint, and I started playing Rocket League. And all of a sudden, there's a knock at my door.
Rocket League.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, come in. And one of Chelsea's friends were there, and she said, oh, my friend Otama's here. And I said, hey, look at this. Doesn't it look like if you rub this, a genie would pop out? And she goes, how did you know my name? And I go, what? I go, no. It doesn't look like if you rub this, a genie would pop out? She goes, how do you know my name? Nobody calls me that. And I'm like, there's no fucking way that I just rubbed this lamp and a fucking genie appeared in my fucking house.
What, his name is Genie?
Her name's Genie.
Wait. But she goes by what?
Otama. So she's like a hippie. Like she's like this hippie lady. Like she lived, like speaking about people who live in vans. Like here's this chick traveling with her dogs, right? Like just going all over the country. She's got 2 dogs in her van, and she's just living this van life. She shows up. I rub this fucking lamp and a genie appears. What are the odds? What are the odds that happens? You know what I mean? Like, what? Like.
So what do you think? What do you think?
I think that life is, life could be a Matrix. We could be just in a story. Like, I don't, you know, it's like for me, I think that it's, I know that I don't know. You know what I mean? That's all I could say is like,
I've always stayed agnostic. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I know I feel like there's always a higher power. Like, I feel like the power in praying works for me. Like saying, hey, I'm grateful to God, whatever that may be. Like, hey, thank you for thank you for the gifts. Thank you for giving me this talent to be able to speak to people, and I believe in that for sure, because whenever I pray, my life gets better. I mean, that's just, it don't, I don't know that I can't prove it, but for me, how I feel and a gratitude towards God is always helped me. And so I don't know, like, I know for me, it helps out. But for it being like a matrix, like, who knows what God is and what our understanding of what this life is? Because isn't life like surreal? Like
it is,
craziest.
Bro. Especially if you trip on mushrooms. Have you ever tripped on mushrooms?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, we did it in Venice.
We did, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, when you take enough mushrooms for the world to start melting before your eyes, that's when you start really looking at everything as being more malleable than you think it was. Like when you trip on mushrooms or any psychedelics, the world melts before your eyes, and it's so real that you can't help but go, what makes me think that this table is solid or even real or even here? Well, or is Mike Ball real, or are you just a projection of my fucking consciousness?
Yeah, you don't even look, you look a little pixelated. This is just all this. What is this? Dude, you know what I like about mushrooms, though? It makes you appreciate the small things. Like, you take mushrooms, and then you look at a tree, and that tree may have been there your whole life, but you're just like, God damn, that tree is beautiful.
It's like, amazing. Why? Like, that thing is alive.
This thing's crazy. Like, and everything mushrooms, I also feel like they give you the ability to see people's true character, like to see like their almost like their aura. Like, you can feel people's auras.
I've had that. Yes, dude. Where sometimes mushrooms kind of ruin certain people for me. Whereas, like, I'll take mushrooms and then I'll be hypersensitive, and then I'll be around somebody and I'm like, dude, this person's bad energy, and I wasn't even fucking paying attention to it.
Yeah. Well, you see things for what they are, like, and you go, I can, I did mushrooms on Venice like a long time ago, and I remember like being at this bong shop, and this guy's like giving me this whole story about this, the oldest bong shop, whatever, blah blah blah, and I could like see like right through it. It was all a sale. It was all scammy. You know what I mean? I could just tell. I was like, this guy is a shyster, and I need to get out of here. It doesn't matter. Like, I just need to get out of this area. I know he's a bullshitter. Get out. Don't fall for that bullshit.
Yeah,
just
and then
keep on going.
And then sometimes I find that when I do trip on mushrooms, the more I do it, the more it resets that part of me where I'm able to keep that on while I'm sober.
Oh, nice.
Does that make sense? So it's kind of like I can like, it's like it rewires my brain to be like, hey man, you need to start being more aware.
Yeah.
Like when you're sober, you wouldn't have. When I wasn't on mushrooms, I probably wouldn't even notice this peripheral thing that was happening that I should have paid attention to. And then now that I'm no longer on it, I still have that muscle now. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. And not only for just bad things, but for good things. Like, you will recognize somebody who's like a genuine person. You're like, this person genuinely cares about me.
Yeah.
This person is like, he or she is a good person who brings positivity, and like they're not bullshitting you. Like, they truly care.
Or I'll get on mushrooms, and then like right now I've been like very busy, and my cat, like I said, just won't shut the fuck up. She meows. She's so fucking needy, and I try to like pet her every freaking time she needs it or whatever. But sometimes I'm just too busy. I gotta stay focused, and she'll just be there, meow, 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 just wanting attention. And then I'm like, God damn, I can't stand this fucking cat right now. And then when I'll trip on mushrooms, I'll hit this certain peak of this high, and then I'll look at my cat, and I'm like, she's needy. She needs me.
Loves you.
She needs me. I mean, why am I being mad? I mean, at least I got a cat that's fucking wants to be around me and shit. So then it resets the way I look at certain things. So like even when I come out of that mushroom trip, even now when I'm like, man, fuck, all right, what's it gonna take for me to pet her for 3 minutes? You know?
Doesn't it kind of give you like some gratitude too? You're like, man, like, hey, I got a cat. The cat loves me.
Yeah,
dude, I'm living the good life,
bro. I'm indoors. Like, it'll be raining outside, and I'll be like tripping on mushrooms. I'm like, bro, I haven't really fucking been grateful for this fucking apartment that I'm in right now, bro. Imagine I was fucking outside, bro. Yeah, man.
Is the attitude.
I don't know, but
about it.
But when it comes to your whole thing about this being a simulation, man, I don't know, man. The more we keep going forward, the more I'm starting to think that we are in a simulation. Things just seem a lot more weird now than they did 10 years ago. or
It's
even
like the
just
weirdest time.
it's fucking weird. Just something is something's happened to where everything that we've been trying to ignore has been like oil to water. It's like risen to the top, and now we can fucking see the shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like now I can see the fakery in the system more than ever before. I can see the fakery in people more than ever before. I can see how easily people are manipulated into certain ideologies. Like during the pandemic, how quick it was to just fucking trigger people over mask or no mask or vax or no vax, and how people teamed up. Like when I started seeing that, man, that's when I started losing faith for humanity. Because for the longest time I was like, man, humanity is gonna be good, dude. I have good faith in humanity. Then the pandemic and the internet made me fucking go, oh, dude, I don't know if we have any hope. This whole time I thought that we were far more evolved than we were, but man, we're still the same primate monkeys, and we're being ruled by fear. And the pandemic made me see how easily people are fucking scared and manipulated. So, there's a part of me that's just like, yay, things are going to be good. And then there's another part of me that's like, I don't know, bro. ChatGPT 2024.
I don't know what the future is, but we are just steps from being monkeys. And I was watching this chimpanzee documentary on Netflix, and these chimps faces are so you could see, they're like, I don't know, man.
You can almost read emotions. They'll remind you of other people's faces and how they
dude. I got
interact.
a homie who looks just like this chimpanzee. I swear. I was like, in the
you better not be black, bro.
Hey, this little baby dude, the baby chimp is so expressive. I'm just like, it doesn't even look real. I'm like, am I watching Guardians of the Galaxy right now?
I know, bro.
Look, it doesn't, and that's the thing is people aren't gonna know what's real here pretty soon.
You know the word orangutan.
Yeah.
It derives from Indonesia. My family, when they were Arab, they're born and raised in Indonesia. Orang comes from the word, Indonesian word orang, which means human.
Really?
So they even say that there is an orangutan in Indonesia. It's called orang pendek. It's a type of animal they call orang pendek, which means short human. And people say that if you go see this thing in the wild or in a zoo, it will trip you the fuck out, because you will swear you're looking into a human.
You're like, this is a human. This is a hairy human.
Yes, like from what I heard, it's like on another level. Like if you see this type of primate. But I mean, when you saw that chimpanzee documentary, I'm pretty sure they pointed out how out of all the mammals, we're the closely related to it. Like we share the most genes with them.
And they were living in this tribe of 129 chimps. Like they were living in a community, right? And they were fighting with another community. They were beefing with other people, and it was pretty real, and pretty close to how we do stuff and how we get tribalism, kind of like what you're talking about with the people who are I believe this one thing and I believe that.
Right. Yeah.
But what freaks me out is that they're starting to use tools. They're coming into the Stone Age.
I've heard that.
So they're figuring out the tools and stuff.
I've heard that.
So I mean, in the next few hundred years, our world may be like Star Wars, where we go into the bar, right? And there's a white guy, a Middle Eastern guy, a black guy, Indian guy,
a cyborg,
it's a cyborg,
a full robot, a chimpanzee that's been enhanced with fucking robot gear,
with AI technology. Yeah,
for sure. Somebody's gonna put ChatGPT in a chimp.
Oh my gosh! Well, you seen the one where they hooked up the Neuralink to the monkey's brain, and it was playing Pong. It was playing Pong with its brain.
Shut up.
Yeah, that's a Neuralink thing. You can play.
Was it Neuralink, or because I know they've done that before in Neuralink. They did do this. I read this article where, man, this might have been almost 10 years ago, where they took a chimp or some type of primate, and then they tap into its brain, into its motor functions, and put electrodes on it, right? And then connected it to this Wi-Fi signal, and the Wi-Fi signal was sending the information from the monkey's brain to a robot arm that is hundreds of miles away, and then the monkey would get rewarded with food if it was able to think about making that robot arm do a specific task.
Yeah, you know how I know that these like chimps are like close to us, dude, because they were giving these chimps like food, like fruits, and the first thing that they did, they gave them a lot of fruits. The first thing they did was trade it for sex with the female monkey.
Yes, I've heard this.
I was like, oh, dude, they're close, dude.
That's
they're like
so fucking funny, bro.
Are you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you kind of cut out just a second, but it ain't bad.
Yeah.
You're back.
That is so funny, bro. Like the first thing he's thinking about is like, am I gonna get? Should I eat? No, I should probably fuck.
Chimpan puss, dude. They're getting right to it.
Do they talk about do chimps have sex for pleasure?
I think they do. I mean, I don't know.
They didn't say that in the documentary because that's the one thing I'm kind
far.
of interested because for us it's also pleasure. It's pleasure. The other animals they just do it because they
I think is it dolphins? Dolphins do it.
For pleasure? Dolphins. That's right. Dolphins will rape other dolphins.
Dolphins will get busy. Remember, you heard about the trainer, the dolphin trainer who like got like attached to the dolphin, was like sexually stimulating him.
Yes, so
he got in trouble for it.
Yeah, they were doing some type of she was doing some type of study, and I think it might have had to do with psychedelics and dolphins and trying to connect with them and somehow. So then to warm up to the dolphin, she fucking made her house into an aquarium. So her house had water in it, like the area that she was in. So she would swim with the dolphin. She would and then they realized that the dolphin needed sexual release in order for it to like focus. So then she was just like, okay, I'll just jerk this thing off just for science. But then when the people found out about it, they shut the thing down. It's
just
like
for science.
It's for science. So what? What does it matter, bro?
That's what she was saying. She's like, just for science.
Just for science.
Like, wet dreams about this dolphin at night. She's like, God damn it.
She's getting all these fucking. She's taking shots to the face.
Skipper. What's that dolphin? That famous dolphin's name? The Flipper. Yeah, she's getting down with Flipper.
She's flipping Flipper.
Oh, yeah. Imagine being that dolphin though. You're going back to the dolphin's friends. You're like, you're never gonna believe what just happened,
bro. I was living it up.
Dolphin dick off.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that dolphin can't get his dick up for dolphins.
Correct. It's like, dude, once you had the humans, you can't go back, dude.
Oh, did you hear about the study they did with this goat to prove how men have sexual imprinting at a very young age, which is why men mostly have weird fetishes like foot fetishes or I can't come unless you fart in my face type shit. All male mammals have this thing called sexual imprinting. So basically, there's a small window in us growing up. I forgot, from like 13 to 15 or whatever it is, where we start developing our sexual tastes. And something can happen within that time frame that will just all of a sudden imprint itself on your brain. And then as a guy, this is your only way that you can get hard. So for example, like a guy's not gay. Let's say a guy's not gay, right? He's not gay. He's completely straight. But then in that small window, something happened where he saw a dick or he got molested or whatever. And then all of a sudden, it's not that he's gay, but he doesn't mind having a guy in the room when they're or maybe he can't. So there's this thing called sexual imprinting. So to prove it, they wanted to see if it happened in all mammals. So they took a goat, right? And at its very young age, they took it away from the herd and they put him with sheep. So the goat, while it's like getting its sexual imprinting at this adolescent age, was only fucking sheep. So the whole time it was just fucking sheep, fucking sheep, fucking sheep. Then when it got mature, they took the goat out of that sheep herd and put him back with goats, and that goat had erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, the goat's like, why would I fuck a goat when I could fuck a sheep, dude?
Because it was so used to fucking sheep. That's what it got into. So it's kind of like, whatever fetishes guys have, a lot of it's imprinted in us at a pretty young age. And females don't have this apparently, which is funny.
Yeah. My mom's calling me. I'll just call her back.
Do you got to answer it?
No, that's fine.
Let's get her on the podcast, bro.
Yeah, my mom be saying some crazy shit, get me canceled.
Is your mom religious?
She believes in God for sure. She's not.
Do you believe?
Church? Oh yeah, I believe in God for sure.
100%?
Oh yeah.
100%.
100%. Well, I just know there's something more than me. You know what I mean? And there's definitely, for everything in the world, is like, there's got to be something more. You know what I mean? And it'd be ignorant to think like, because I mean, nobody really knows what the purpose of life is, or like, hey, what's the why are we here? What is this for? And you gotta think like, I don't know if a certain religion's right, like if it's Muslim, Christian, or whatever. I think it's all got like this kind of same like theme to it. It's like
it's all coming from the same place, just regurgitated into different formats.
Yeah, it's like how to live life for dummies. You know what I mean? Like
pretty much.
If you do the if you don't lie and you don't steal and you don't murder people, you don't fuck your neighbor's wife,
right.
Like if you do all these things, you'll have a good life. And it's like it's as simple as that. And because people complicate it, they're like, why is my life all messed up? And it's like, well, if you would have just followed these simple steps, you could have cut a lot of that, a lot of your self-imposed misery out. But and but it's like people need to learn themselves. They got to do it. That's why they say, hey, Jesus died for your sins, is because like, everybody's going to fuck up, you know what I mean? And you got to forgive yourself, and you got to move on. You got to, you can't hold on to all that guilt. That's why I think that's probably what that is, like almost like a release valve of your guilt and like of all the shitty things you ever did. It was like, well.
Yeah, I think a lot of religion, when you strip it away from a lot of its nonsense, because there are things in these books when you read where it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's just so old school caveman mindset that doesn't make any sense. But then there's tons of other stuff in there that's just like shit that you would think is common sense, but a lot of people need that structure to realize that it's common sense. Some of us, I think, are born with that ability to have that common sense without that structure. But I think a lot more people need that. A lot more people need to be reminded, hey, man, it's not about you. It's about other people, too. Hey, man, it's about keeping yourself healthy so that you're around to help other people. It's being charitable. It's about loving. It's about having a community. It's about having a family. And sometimes these religions give, a structure plan to live their life in a specific way, so that when they find somebody who also subscribes to that structure plan, it brings harmony, or at least it's supposed to. So, there's a part of me that's just kind of like, is God real? Yes and no, but at the same, I'm always in this agnostic thing, but at the same time, I still pray. And my mom was very good she only raised me to pray when things are good. She never told me to pray when things are bad. Like the mindset of my mom is like, you should be giving God, quote unquote, a phone call for when things are going good and being like, thank you, as opposed to only showing up when shit is bad. It's kind of like you got to look at it as like a friend. Well, what's a good friend? A good friend is somebody who's there for you when it's good and when it's bad, or just there for you, period. What a shitty friend is somebody who only shows up when they need something.
Yeah. Well, and you look at that, you look exactly what you're saying is if you can live in gratitude, and I write this down in my daily goals, is to be grateful to God and grateful to God. It's like, pretty much like, because life can get you where you look at everything else and you're saying, well, maybe that guy had that guy has more Instagram followers, or that guy makes more money than I do, or whatever it is, or that guy has a cooler car, and you just don't realize
comparing yourself.
You don't realize all the blessings that you have.
Right.
And when you start just looking at what you have and being truly grateful for what you have, you put you in a good mood.
It uplifts you.
In
it's
life,
fuel.
Happiness is not a destination. No matter what you achieve in life, you can achieve everything you can do. You can get a Netflix special. You can headline every single club, and you can still be miserable.
I know,
and I've
bro.
seen, and people like that.
I go in and out of those moods. When I look at myself right now, where I'm at, what I've accomplished, not only in stand up but in life, even with my real estate investments, if I look at myself from myself in my 20s, I would look at myself like, whoa, Look at that life you've lived. Look at all these blessings you have. You know, you have all these great things. That uplifts me and makes me feel good. But at the same time, if I don't do that, it's very easy for me to be caught up in the, fuck, I didn't sell out that show.
Yeah.
Fuck, this didn't happen, or that whatever, or I'm not at this level that this other person is. That's painful, bro. You can't do that.
Well, because to the point is, happiness is a destination. It's not a destination. If you just choose to be happy, you know what I mean? Like, you say, hey, I'm grateful. I got this cat. This cat loves me. I'm happy. It's a beautiful day. It's sun shining. And when you live in it blurred out the face like it's a witness, like it's in the witness protection plan. That cat is sick, dude. That cat's got a lot of personality.
She's cute.
But
yeah, but gratitude's everything, bro.
If you could do that and it get to the point where you're like, every day you're happy and you choose to be happy, and that, because it's just a choice, you know what I mean? You can wake up and it doesn't matter. It's just how you choose to be. Like, if you say, hey, I'm going to be a happy guy, and you practice it like you practice your stand-up and you practice your business and you practice the habits that you are good, you say, hey, I'm a happy guy, and you just say, I'm going to be a happy guy, and, you know, maybe things will irritate you, but if you practice it every day and you go out with a happy attitude, it'll get easier.
It does.
And the people that see you being happy are going to reflect your emotions as well.
Yep.
So if you're happy to people, you're like, hey, what's up, Bob? And Bob sees you, he's like, oh, what up, Mike? Like, it's gonna start, like,
it's contagious.
It is contagious, and that's what the.
But let's be real. You can't always be that every day, and not all days are going to be good, and you know, and that's okay.
And that's the thing too, is realizing is, like, sometimes there are shitty days where you can feel, you bad things happen, and you know, like, you lose a loved one, or you
don't get what you want, or you're not where you're supposed to be, or whatever it is.
Yeah, but you know, you can take, and it's okay to take a day off and be sad, and have some recovery time, but eventually it's to the point of, you have to have self-responsibility and know that, the only person that can make you happy is you, and nobody else can make you happy. No, a car is not going to make you happy. A house is not going to make you happy. Only you can make you happy. So having that responsibility is up to you.
I know you're very structured, bro, because as long as I've known you, man, when I started doing stand-up in 2017, you were the guy that people would call if they were doing shows out in Michigan, because you were just, man, you're always a hustler, bro. You started the Future of Comedy show, which is a banger show that I've done a few times, and I fucking loved it. You're on the road. I mean, you're constantly expanding. You have these, and anytime I see you, man, you always have this can-do attitude. You really do have this energy of, like, everything's gonna fucking work out. This is gonna be fucking great. We're gonna fucking make this happen, and it's contagious. And your personality precedes you. Like, people know when they think of Mike Ball, they know he's fucking hilarious. He's a hustler. He says what he means. When he says he's going to do it, he's going to do it. You're a man of your word. And then when I started talking to you about, like, your routine with your business, why don't you share with everyone what you do? And I think it's great. Like you said, every day you do 20 things for your business. And then I would like to, like, tease out, like, what does your day look like, man? Do you have a morning routine? What the fuck is what makes you, Mike Ball, the guy that's able to, do all these things and also keep a level head?
So, number one, I appreciate all those kind of things you said, and I think that those kind of things that you said about me kind of reflects into what your personality is as well, and that's why, like, I was drawn to you in the beginning. It was that when we sat there and talked, you're like, hey, I got these rental properties. I found out how to do this so I could focus on comedy. And I was like, hey, that's what I was trying to do. That was, like, the whole reason why I started the Future Comedy Show, was because I wanted to get good at comedy. And I was like, I was going to wait for anybody to put me on. I wasn't going to wait for the clubs to call me. I was going to put my own show together, and I was going to give myself the time I needed to develop as a comic. And that was number one, that was the number one thing. That was the number one most important thing.
That was your priority.
That's like the J. Cole song. It's like, are you doing this for fame, or are you doing this for, I forget, I'm fucking up the whole quote, but he's basically saying, are you doing it to develop, or are you doing it for money? And it wasn't about the money. It was about getting good at comedy so that I could live the dream I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think like anything I think that I become more disciplined as I get older and like get away from, you know, self-inflicting damage. Like a lot of my life, if anything went wrong, it was my fault. Like I had a lot of self-sabotage where it's like, okay, you know, like I mean, I quit. I'm so like 7 years sober now, but before in my life, I would, you know, I'd sabotage myself by drinking, getting in trouble, and not doing the right things. Like I think I've been fired from, probably like 3 or 4 jobs before comedy because I was drinking. Well, I didn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? Like I was drinking and I knew that I was like, well, I could start a lawn service and make more money than work at FedEx. So I got all fucked up one night and told the boss I was having a threesome and I wasn't going to be coming in, and I just never showed up again. I was like,
did the threesome happen?
I thought it might have, like it was going to happen, but it didn't happen. Like I ended up
threesomes are fickle, bro.
Well, threesomes are fickle, and like you have to have the right chemistry for a threesome. Sure. To go. And we come back to that point.
Yeah.
But I want to stick on the like the
serious
thing of if you want to design your life, it's like all about prioritizing what's going to make the most out of your day, or like what brings you the most value to whatever you're trying to achieve. And once you figure that out, you're like, all right, well, this is what is going to bring me the most value of what I got to do. Wherever you are in your life, you just duplicate that and you keep doing it over and over again until you're good at it. And then eventually one day you wake up and you go, hey, I was doing it wrong. It's actually like this. And then you tweak it a little bit, and then you do it for a while, and then you tweak it until you get a system that's actually you can't do the same thing. You got to always be changing. You always got to be
changing the system.
Yeah, changing what you do and how you do things, because if you do things one way, somebody will watch you. Like, because if you're doing like, you're thinking about competition of like doing comedy, is like people will watch you. They'll take your idea and they'll do it. So you got to be thinking of a better idea to make your shit even better than what they were thinking. Right. So this is what I've learned is to have a structure, like have like a thing that you do every day. I like to get up, go for a walk, listen to an audio book, learn something in the morning, then go home, drink my athletic greens. They got me on the athletic greens, trying to drink those bad boys, write down my goals. What do I want to achieve? I write them in present tense.
For the day?
Oh, no, the goals of my life. Like, so I'll be like, all right.
So do you repeat those writings?
I write them every day. Yeah, the same ones. Oh, sorry, Jay. We're going to have to call you back.
How many goals?
So right now I got about 13. I do 13 goals I got. And they're like wild. Like I write like, I'm a great comic and musician. I write that every day because that's what I want to be. I want to be a great comic. I want to be a great musician.
An affirmation. I used to do this too when I did a 5-minute journal.
Yeah, I mean that one's an affirmation, but like I said, I'm a millionaire, and I'm like, I'm not a millionaire yet, but like I think I'm going to be. You know what I mean? Like if I focus on it and I keep doing the things that I'm doing and putting consistent effort into positive things every day. You know what I mean? Like positive outcomes. If you do positive things every day, you don't have to do a lot. You just need to keep accumulate them. It's almost like investing. Like if you invest into the S&P 500, compound interest compounds, and if you do it over a long period of time, it ends up working for you. And it's kind of crazy because like I remember when I first started doing comedy, and I got the first time I got like paid for a gig, it was like $10, and I was like, oh, this is dope, this is nice, then you get used to that. And then like I remember one time I got paid like 800, it was like 8 shows for $100, and I was jumping in my living room so pumped. I'm like, I got gigs.
8 shows for $100, bro. I'll shoot myself in the dick.
8 shows for $100 a piece. So I'm jumping in the living room like, holy shit,
Come
like
on, man.
This is nice. Oh, you froze, Mike.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You can still hear me though, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, and now where I'm at, it's like, I look back and I'm just like, wow, like it's crazy how far I've came. But that was all because of consistent effort into doing stuff, like performing all the time.
So
like
let's talk
doing
about
these
your
stuff.
morning routine again. You get up, you go for a walk, you listen to an audio book. How long does that walk last? About an hour?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes,
35. Yeah,
which
maybe.
is smart. It's good. You get your steps in early. I try to get walks in the morning because you gotta want to get sun in your face and your eyes. That's very healthy for you. And then you listen to it like an audio book. Is it always an audio book?
Yeah, I mean, during my walk usually. That's what I like to do.
You don't do
I
any work on that walk? I have a hard time where I'll like wake up, I'll go for a walk, I'll do like a 30-minute walk, but then I'll answer emails and do that shit on the walk.
I mean, if somebody calls me, I'll answer it, but I like to get that like a positive, like a positive, like an informational book, like something I'm gonna learn from, like start my brain on like a new idea, you know, and then I write down my goals, and then I go hit the gym for about an hour, and then go home, have some lunch, and then get into, you know, maybe take a little power nap, and then try to do 20 things for my business. And once I'm done with that, I either got a show, or maybe I'll do a podcast, or maybe I'll use that time to spend with my friends or family, because that's also one of my goals, is that I say I'm close with my family and I have an abundance of friends. So I try to prioritize them, because I mean, what's this all for? You know what I mean? Like, if you can't spend
It's true. I'm having a hard time with that right now. Right now I'm having a hard time balancing friends, and because all my time now is going into all the stand-up shit that I have to do, and then by the time I'm done with that during the day, typically I'm probably going to be getting to an open mic, or probably hanging out at the clubs to like, you know, keep showing face and all that other stuff. So I'm like taking my entire day is full of stand-up, but at the same time now I'm like, dude, I got to try to find either one day where I don't do anything and I try to hang out with friends and just do me. But I'm always doing me. The thing that I'm not doing is taking time to be like, come on, man, let's go hang out with some fucking friends. And that's a bad habit. That's something that I need to get out of. So I think what you're saying right there is very important. You know?
Yeah, but the lucky thing about doing comedy too is because when you do comedy, those become your friends. They're all comedians, and then you get to go see them at the open. I mean,
there's that, but those friends are a little bit different. I mean, I have friends that I hang out in stand-up comedy and stuff, but even then, I feel that when I'm hanging out with them at the clubs, I'm still in work mode.
Yeah, you're still thinking like, what am I gonna do? Like, how do I?
I mean, sometimes I'm hanging out and having fun, but it's still different. It's not the same as me calling up some of my old school Detroit friends that we started with in Detroit that live out here in LA that I barely ever see because they don't do stand up. Right? I'm not making the time to go see them. And, you know, it's not like, you know, you feel me, bro? You feel where I'm getting at, man?
I feel exactly what you're saying, because I was like that for so long, like where I would book myself to do comedy like 5 nights a week, and then like realize like, okay, well, I don't have, all my relationships are with these, with my friends are gone. But now it's like all my friends are comics, and I mean, there's a few friends I still keep in touch with, but like I just want to make sure that I'm doing that. Like I'm still spending time with friends. I'm doing other stuff.
So when you do your 20 things in a day, this is, to me, is I think a great thing. But to me, I start
with 10.
A what?
I started with 10 things a day, and I just got used to that. And I started with 10 just to get used to it, and then I went up to 20.
But when you do 10 things, so like, see, for me, I think I need to start like adding all of the things as, so for example, I won't count making the poster for this posting.
You should
that.
Count this.
Count this. Maybe, but I think now you're starting to inspire me to actually count that and put that on a list and check it off, because I think you get a dopamine hit of like, boom, there's an accomplishment. Boom, there's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Boom, there's an accomplishment.
You get the dopamine, and it's something you had to do. You had to make something, even if it takes you a second. Like, you do it, and then also what it does is make sure that you don't overdo yourself. Is that you can also you get it done, and then you still have energy where you look towards tomorrow and you're like, all right, I got something to do tomorrow, and I know what I'm gonna have to do tomorrow.
Yeah,
I got these extra things, and then you can enjoy life and you can go do something, and that's gonna create a good bit. You're like, well, I went to the beach with my buddy and I saw a guy. You know what I mean? Like that's where the comedy bits come from, is life.
It's, you know what, dude, you're 100% right, bro. And that's the thing that really fucking pisses me off, that I'm not actually spending time to hang out. Because the days that I go, I'm not doing anything but having fun, I will come up with 2-3 new bits to work on. Or I'll fucking be in the riff of some funny friends and we'll just be talking, and then you know how it is. You're in the vibe, you're in the flow, and then you just like when you're killing at a show. You ever notice when you kill at a show, when you're fucking crushing, and then all of a sudden you're adding new stuff? You're coming up with new things. You know, you're riffing, and then you riff some
longer.
And then the bit gets on, and you thought you were done with the bit, and that's what I have to keep reminding myself, man, because sometimes just going out and not doing stand-up is where I'll fucking come up with my most material, or I'll come up with a new funny thing to say, you know?
Well, there's something to be said about working hard. There's also something to be said about, knowing that you don't have to get somewhere in one day. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people want to do that. They're like, I want to get to the top today.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you know what? You look at the guys that really have made it to the top, Louis C.K., Dan Cook, Dave Chappelle, Tom Segura, all the people that you really look up to. They've been doing comedy for 30 years. You know what I mean? They've been doing their craft forever. And not
only that, they're at a level where now they hire people to do all the other fucking bullshit stuff that they don't have to do anymore. That also helps, when you start hiring people, when you got a booking agent, when you got this agent, when you got doing the cutting your clips and producing your fucking podcast, that really frees you up to write more material, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, and that's the type of thing, is that when you prioritize what you actually need to do, what's going to get you the furthest of what you need to do, it's like you'll figure out. You're like, well, maybe I don't need to do this little thing. Maybe that thing I thought that was so important that I needed to do wasn't all that important.
Do you prioritize your to-do list? So let's say you got 20 things that you're going to do, or 10 or 20 things that you do. Do you just start with the easiest and go down, or do you sit there and go, well, this is the most time consuming, I'll start with that first?
Sometimes I look at it like I want to start with the thing that I hate to do the most. Like, for like me, like I do a lot of like improv, I do a lot of crowd work, and I'm like trying to like, I got a strong improv and crowd work muscle.
Yeah, you do, bro.
So I've been trying to work on my bits. So I've been writing a lot more lately. So I like to put the writing up front, and I'm trying to, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to write for 18 minutes.
It's very interesting that when I look at you, that you're just like, the writing thing is the thing that doesn't come naturally. So I'm going to have to move that to the front.
Yeah.
Because you don't come across like that, bro. You're such a killer on stage. It's really, one thing about comics like you is really hard to tell where you're riffing and where's material.
And people will never know, because I've done, I've been doing comedy for 11 years, and I've heard it all. You know what I mean? So I've got a line for pretty much every single thing that's been said.
Amen. I'm starting to get there. I'm now starting to get there where I'm like, I have like ammo. I'm coming with armaments. Do you know what I mean? Where someone will say something and then it's just like, I've heard that before. Boom, here's the thing that I could fucking come back with that.
Yeah, and that's like, and there's a point too. It's like where if you gotta grow, you gotta get into doing the stuff that you're not doing. So for me, I'm like, all right, well, I haven't been writing as much as I should. I've been pretty much focused on putting on a good show, booking my calendar, and advertising the fuck out of it. And I haven't been writing as much as I should. And that's a thing where I'm like, well, you know what? It's time to put the pen to the paper. And what ends up happening is you go, oh shit, I haven't thought about that in 10 years.
Right.
Like that's an interesting thing that happened to me that I haven't thought about. And getting back to it. It's so funny because like when you start writing, like nothing good happens until like you're into like the 15th minute, and then all of a sudden you go, oh shit, oh yeah, and then you start scribbling. You're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, oh there's a tag to that joke that I've been doing for 10 years that hasn't had a new tag.
When you say nothing happens until 15 minutes, do you like stream write like subconsciously, and then until something comes out?
If you look at my joke book, dude, it doesn't make any sense. Like literally, it just
you write with a pen.
Yeah, I write with a pen, and
You don't
I
type?
sit there and I just write. I write. Yeah, I don't like typing. I mean, I can, but it's like I like to just write, and I'll jump from idea to idea, and it'll be crazy because I'll be like, I haven't thought about that thing, or wrote a tag, and then I'll think, oh, well, that joke kind of goes with that joke. I can interweave it with that, and then see how that joke can go into that one. Like the order you're set, and you don't you have to put concerted effort into whatever you want to do. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, but I like that you're smart enough to be like, look, this is my weak points. These are the things that are probably going to take the most brain power and time, and I'm going to move that stuff. Come here, cat. Just don't shut the fuck up. And then I'm gonna work on those first. Like for me, the thing that I need to move to the top of the list, but I don't find it that important, but it is important, bro, is fucking TikTok reels and little trends, like coming up with videos that are not like stand-up comedy, but just like funny little Instagram clips. I haven't really put that much time into it, but I need to now. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I need to put to the top of the list, because the stand-up clips, that thing is starting to come out no problem, so long as I'm doing shows all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then you think like, I mean, what's it all, getting these TikTok, I mean, it all adds up. You got to get the following. You got to get people to see who you are and come out to a show. But also, if you put on a good show and you're just doing shows all the time, and that's your goal, you will build up an audience. You know what I mean? You'll build up people that want to see you.
And I am. It's starting to get there. It's really nice, dude.
Dude, you're killing it, because you already have a back. Like, that's like the cool thing about life, is that you take all these tools that you learned from all your entire life, and then you start adding them up later on.
Yeah, bro.
And then you're like, oh shit, that's a nice little tool I learned back then.
Yes. Even from other jobs or things that you had to do that had nothing to do with stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah.
There's previous like me doing improv before I did stand-up. Big help with my stand-up comedy. Producing reality TV, learning how to take video footage from 3 different days and then condensing those moments down to a 30-second scene before we cut to commercial. And that skill that I learned from reality TV has really helped me condense and make these jokes pop and, make them shorter instead of fucking being long-winded and shit. So there's a lot of shit that translates. That's why, like, if I talk to like young guys, young girls, I'm like, yo, man, in your 20s, that is the time for you to throw everything at the wall to see what you're fucking good at. Just keep fucking building skills in your 20s, because then by the time you hit your 30s and stuff, all of those accumulated skills that maybe you got an accounting degree and you started doing accounting, and then you left it and you didn't like it, and then you started doing something else. Those skills that you got from accounting are gonna fucking translate.
Oh, they will. Hey, I gotta use the restroom. Can I come right back?
Yeah, do it, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and hawk my shows. So I am I'm doing a lot of shows, guys. So if anybody's hearing this, I know. There's only one person watching it live. That's because I haven't really been going live that often. But the you guys that are listening, man, that thing is growing, and I love you guys for it. But MikeFromDetroit.com, get my dates. I'm booking more shows. I'm now coming to Tulsa in September. I'm also going to Oklahoma City in September. People in Detroit, get tickets for Detroit House of Comedy June 9th through 10th. San Diego, August 16th, I'm headlining the Comedy Store. I'm also headlining Ha Ha Comedy Club June 2nd in Los Angeles. I'm trying to sell these freaking tickets. I've also just came back from Texas, and I have to say, man, there's something about Texas that I like. I'm almost kind of like, if I wasn't gaining any traction in LA, I probably would have moved to Austin by now. I did the Joe Rogan Comedy Club, the Mothership. I did Brian Simpson's show, who's also a fellow Marine, who's blowing the fuck up. He's even got a Netflix special. I did his show, which is called Bottom of the Bucket. It was great, man. Met some beautiful ladies. Hello. Yeah. Texas was amazing. Anybody who came out, I want to thank you. A lot of you guys also joined my mailing list. The mailing list is freaking growing. Like I said, I can't wait to keep doing stand up, and also pump out some really, really good material for you guys, man. Because the more you guys are coming to the show, the more I realize I got to stay writing and just keep elevating my craft to the next level. So I want to thank everybody for their support. But like I said, I'm booking shows nonstop. Join my mailing list. You know, you can go to MikeFromDetroit.com. My mailing list thing will pop up. Tell me where to perform. And it's great because I will only be reaching out to you when I come out in your area. I'm not going to bombard you with unnecessary emails. And then also I got some brand new merch coming up. I got a Public Yemeni t-shirt, the summer edition, which is yellow with black writing. And then I also got this awesome shirt based off the Come and Go gas station. It's called Skeet and Skedaddle. I even lowered my prices on my site too, because now I've been mass producing these things. So order yours now and come see me at a show, baby. We got Mike Ball.
June 9th and 10th at the House of Comedy.
I know, dude. I know, man. I'm also doing Haha here in Los Angeles. I'm running my hour at the Haha next month, and I gotta try to push tickets for that too, buddy.
That's what's up, dude. The Haha.
Like hey, what are some other crafty ways of getting people to come to your show? Is there anything that you could share, man? Because you're a businessman extraordinaire. You're very good at packing out these shows.
So on your last point, and you were saying, like, if you were an accountant, that skill is gonna translate. So
sure.
Before I ran a lawn service or became a comic, I was going to school for a business major, and I was studying marketing and sales. And that's what I took 3 years of marketing in high school, and I was a promoter. That's actually how I got into comedy. Was like the first live comedy show I ever saw was Ralphie May, because I was promoting for this bar. It was called The Shook. I was doing crazy country nights, and I'd go down to the college and I'd hand out flyers with a hot babe in a cowboy hat. She wasn't gonna be there, but they didn't know that. And we'd hand out the flyers and try to get people to the show, and I'd get paid like $1 a person that came or whatever. And I'm like, hey, this is a great job. I get to get drunk. I get to hang out with girls, party. And I seen that Ralphie May was coming to Saginaw. And I was like, oh, and I looked at the event on Facebook, and there was nobody added to it. And I said, well, I hit up the promoter. I said, hey, if you give me 4 free tickets, I will add 5,000 people to your event. And the guy was like, oh yeah, for sure, dude. This is easy marketing.
You'll add 5,000 people to the event.
Yeah, so back in the day, Facebook used to be dope. Like, Facebook used to be so like sweet. You could add as many people as you wanted to the event, and you could like put whole friend lists and add them all at once.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's right.
And I used to be super good at that because that's what I was doing for my job. Like, I would just sit there and so I added the bar's friends and my friends. I added and I asked my friends to add their friends to the show, and I got the 4 free tickets. And Ralphie May, rest in peace. I love this guy. He was like there, and I brought this chick I was always trying to hook up with. And at the very end, Ralphie's like, hey, take a look at this guy here who bought these expensive tickets, bought this expensive beer, paid for the parking, got you some dinner. You look at this guy. Look at all the things he did for you. You at least give this guy a blowjob. And I hooked up with that chick for the first and last time, and I was like, oh, man, dude, I think I can get into this comedy thing.
It's because Ralphie May hooked it up?
Oh, Ralphie May did hook it up. And when I seen Ralphie, I was like, it became a reality to me, because like before, like I was living in this town where like there was no comedy, there's not a comedy club in Saginaw, and so I like never seen it live, and it wasn't a reality to me. Like I was like, you got to go to LA to do it. You got to go to LA to be a comic, and that's why I think I went to LA, because I thought that's what you had to do. I was like, oh, you got to go there to do that.
It helps.
Oh yeah, well you want to be where people are doing it for sure. Like I mean, but that's like the kind of like the next thing, but. I think to answer your question, to get people to the show, like, I think this is probably the most underrated thing, is to personally reach out to people that are in the area. Like, look up on your Facebook wherever you're going, and then type friends in the city that you're typing, like friends in Los Angeles, and it'll show you all your friends, and then reach out and say, hey, yo, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm doing a show over here, blah blah, and that's a cheap, easy way to do it. It's just organically.
That's something organically. I know. Reaching out to, I don't know why, but there's a mindset that I have, and it's a dumb mindset that I need to get over, where I'm just like, if I'm gonna sell out the haha, I want people that are not my friends.
Yeah, well, you don't have to. Yeah, I guess that's true, but I mean, I don't know. There's always don't these people become your friends anyways? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I meet people at these shows. Like,
oh no, I made a lot of friends, bro.
But like, I met this guy named Scooter, dude, in Ohio, and he's like, "Come down to my fish fry," and I was like, "I'm never gonna see this guy in my life," and now he's one of my best friends. You know what I mean? Like,
have you ever seen him?
Oh, dude, he came. He's been to so many of my shows. It's he drove up from Ohio, from the middle of Ohio, like east of Columbus, like 5-hour drive.
Damn.
Come to my New Year's Eve show twice.
Damn.
My birthday shows. Like,
that's
probably
great,
like
bro.
Probably 3 or 4 of my birthday shows. Like, I went to Myrtle Beach with this family. This family's like, what the hell?
Oh, that's fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah, like,
I haven't reached that point yet, but I am now starting to see return people, which is fucking great. Shout out to Dylan Blue in Phoenix. He was my first fan in Phoenix. The guy was just like, he's diehard, man, and I fucking love it. He's a young kid, and he fucking came to my show one time in House Comedy when I was like emceeing. Then he came to another show that I freaking did. One time I was in Phoenix, I was at a club with this chick that I picked up at a show, and he was working at the club and he was like, hey, I was like, so it's just cool, man. Like, it's definitely that for sure. But when I'm talking about selling tickets, I'm talking about like, out here in LA, I could definitely reach out to people I know to come, and they will come. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, man, I'd rather just fill it up with people I don't know. That's my ego. Yeah. And I know that. You know what I mean? And you're 100% right.
I think that you start with your friend. Like, if you look at like a sale, look at a sales, and what you do in sales is you got to try to find the warm targets first. You hit up all the warm targets, and warm targets are people that you know already that are more likely to buy your product because they already like you. They know who you are. And you hit up all the warm ones, and then you go to the medium temperature, and then you go to cold. And once you do the cold, you can do your Facebook ads. You can do, you can put out flyers. You can go out and bark. Maybe that's like an idea, like in LA, is find some of these new comics that want some stage time, and give them some flyers and tell them to bark, and say, hey, get out there and get people to the show. And I have no ego. I'll go bark, get people to the show, work the door, and headline it. Like, I don't give a shit. Like,
I'm the same way. Nothing's beneath me, bro.
Like, and you got to do what you got to do until you get to the point where you don't have to do it no more.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, and I don't know. I think that's almost endearing too. Like, I had this like one lady. Like, I was headlining a show in Davison maybe 2 weekends ago, and they were standing up and they needed chairs. So I went and got some chairs for them, and I sat them down, and I sat some other people down, some chairs, and then I got on stage to headline the show, and the people were their jaws dropped because they're like, what the hell? The guy that was getting the chairs is headlining the show.
Yeah.
But you know what? They all really appreciated it. They all really appreciated that I was like a normal person.
Yeah.
And I did get like people that were interested. Like, a lot of gigs came out of that. They're like, oh, this guy is. They go, oh, he's a
one man show. He's
funny, but he's also a real person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he drives an ugly Aztec.
I've moved up to an Acadia, but I do have an Aztec still. I love that thing. I can't even get rid of it, dude. Too many good memories.
It's fucking Walter White car.
Dude, but you could put a mattress in the back, dude. That's what
we've heard of it. You already told us about that, yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat that. And really what the good thing was, I could put a stage back there, and I could produce my own shows, and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. I put the stage back there, lights, sound.
What do you mean you put the stage back there?
I got a stage on wheels, Mike. You know that? I bring my
So
own
then you
stage
do
in.
shows out of the back of your Aztec?
Well, the stage fits in my Acadia too, so I just did a VFW, and I showed up, rolled the stage out, put my backdrop up, my speaker, and my lights, and did a whole show. And it all fits in the back of my car.
Hold on, Acadia. Is it a truck?
That's like a SUV.
I think it's ugly too, bro.
You don't like that? But yeah, you got a Challenger, dude. You got
I got a fucking Challenger, bro, and that I love that car so much.
Challenger is pretty fucking awesome, but
it's the dumbest car to have in the end. But I mean, it's fucking fun, man. I can't help it, bro.
Dude, it's a beautiful car too.
I feel my testosterone just like increase when I drive it, bro. You know,
that. You should be a doctor. Be like, hey, if you want your testosterone to go up, I got.
Yeah. I had a joke. Like one of my early jokes was about that. I forgot what it was. It was something that never fucking lived, bro. You know, but yeah, man. I mean, I think you're 100% right in terms of like, you know, just getting that fucking shit out there, bro. You know, and just like maybe I do need to fucking bark out in LA, try to get more people to come out, but you know.
Well, I think until you get to that point, like, I mean, you can spend some money on some Facebook ads. I mean, in LA, it's so like LA is like so congested though. It's like everybody's doing like a bunch of stuff. There's a show everywhere. It's like I think you find who your fans are, who your core fans are. Maybe ask them, hey, will you help me out with the show? Will you share my flyer? Like, and the more you put into it, the better it'll be. So like
for sure.
And then, you know, find comics that want to help you, and then go from there. Set a base, and then when you do that one show,
do you do email blasts off your email list?
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Do you target it by area?
Oh yeah. So I mean that's what I do. I take the people from the tickets and I put them into the specific area they're from, and then I just email them when I'm in the town and just go from there. I'm trying to like a little bit different because I mean when you and I were doing shows, I was doing the same 3 rooms over and over again. I would do it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah.
But like that was kind of going back to like prioritizing where most of my income would come from, and I'd say, oh well, shit, Friday and Saturday I can sell tickets and I can make more money. I need to just focus on doing Friday and Saturday instead of doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And also I can headline and I get more time, which means I can become a better comic.
You're killing it on the road right now, bro. I'm seeing you fucking just doing all kinds of shit with Steven, man. You're like everywhere right now. You're not sticking to Michigan anymore. You're everywhere.
Oh, well, yeah, and that's the thing too is that I'm just trying to grow the market. I'm just trying to grow markets. So it's like, all right, well, if I can grow this market, oh, dude, the coolest gig I got to do lately, I got to go to the Virgin Islands, which was sweet. Like, that was like,
what was the name of the club? I think I've gotten that offer to do that. It's either that one or the Bahamas. There's another one in the Bahamas.
No, it wasn't even a club. It was like this outdoor like rum bar. It was called the Salty Mongoose, and I like literally just like my buddy lives down
performed
there.
in front of an orgy.
It was.
That's my next goal. I want to perform in front of an orgy.
Well, you should. That should be your Netflix special.
Like the whole special's pixelated.
Dude, I think that's the next level comedy when you can focus on your jokes when there's just dongs in front of you, and maybe one of those goats fucking a sheep. You there?
No, I'm there, bro. I'm just picturing it, and it's fucking ugh.
I can't see. Yeah, you're. I don't know. You froze on my screen like 8 years ago.
Well, I mean, that's the first time we've ever done this shit. You know, doing it this way. This is the first time ever. So, like doing a Skype call. So you're my first, and I might start doing even more like this. But I do much prefer people in person, man. You know.
Well, I'd come out there when I'm out and. When I'm out there, I'll do another one with you.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Whenever that happens.
Let's try to wrap this up. But before we wrap it up, man, give us your tips on how to make a threesome happen successfully.
Number 1 is finding a girl who wants to have a threesome. You find the first girl.
I agree.
Yeah. You know, and that
the cuter, the better.
Yeah, cuter, the better. And then let her do all the work. You just say, hey, you want to make this happen? You pick out the girl. You do it. Don't get involved in that. That way, you know, there's not going to be no jealousy or nothing. And then already know they have chemistry. You know what I mean? So it might be even better.
I always find that if you do that, some of those girls, there's are girls out there be like, yeah, I would love to have a threesome, but they're never going to pull the trigger. They just want to keep fucking dangling that over your fucking head. You know what I mean? And then when you tell them to find the girl, they're just indecisive. I mean, girls are not very decisive when it comes to that stuff. I've had some girls that were like that. I've had a couple of girls, but the vast majority of girls, it's like I had to fucking make that connection happen. Hey, you should meet this girl. You know?
That's the thing too is, but that makes it all the better though. If she can find the other girl, that's like I mean, it may be harder to do, but it'd be better because they have the chemistry. They're not competing against each other. They already know.
Especially if the girl's really bisexual. Some girls say that they're bi, but they're not really. They don't really want it. They'll do it if it happens and it's just right. And then a lot of times I'll get those girls to be like, yeah, I want to do it. I want to do it. And then they're picky. You show this girl like, no, I don't like your nose. No, I don't like your hair. No. The ones that were easiest were girls that were very bisexual and they really wanted it to happen. You know what I mean? Like I was dating this one girl out here. She was very aggressive about it. And a couple of times she brought home girls from the karaoke bar. Nice. And because she was hot, she was like, do you want to hook up with me and my man? And then that girl just wants to be with her. And then fuck yeah. And then basically you're just there. They don't even give a shit about you. That's the best. That's the best when you're just an accessory. The worst is when you get like one girl that kind of likes you, but she wants to do it because she wants to impress you, but she doesn't really want to do it. And then you get the girl, and then she agrees, and then you do it, and her pussy gets dry, or she doesn't show up, or some fucking shit like that.
Yeah. I think, I've only had like 3, and I think like one was like horrible. I was like in high school, and it was not good. And then one was like okay, and then the best one though was when my girlfriend wanted to do it. She found the girl. Yeah. It was one day. She came home and like I remember like we're sitting there. We're in my bedroom. We're playing the Super Nintendo, the Super Nintendo Classic, the one that came out, the smaller version.
Oh, okay. I thought I'm sitting here thinking that you don't even have pubes yet, and you're making fucking threesome happen in the 80s, bro.
No, so and all of a sudden we're sitting there, we're playing it on like a projector on the TV, and all of a sudden we're all holding hands, and I was just like, "Are we about to have a threesome?" And they were like, "Mm-hmm." I'm like,
"Oh, so they wanted it." Yeah,
they already wanted it, and that was like the best.
That's the best, bro.
Because they were already on it together, and
I've only had maybe 2 or 3 though that were like that.
Well, those are the best. I mean, those best.
Those were the best. The one that was awkward is when I got 2 of my ex-girlfriends to do it.
Oh my! Were they competing with each other or what?
Bro, it's like almost 2. It's almost so. The one girl was a girl that I was dating out here in L.A. The other girl was a girl that I was hooking up with while I was in New Orleans doing Swamp People, the reality show. And I was like, I pitched it to the girl out here who kind of really liked me, but I was trying to keep her as a just a casual thing. But she was one of those girls that was like agreeing to it, but in the back of her mind, she's like, I'm going to change him type girl. Yeah. So the girl that I was here in LA, when I brought it up to her, she got pissed. Because yeah, she was like, "What the fuck? I knew when you were in New Orleans, you were hooking up." I'm like, "Listen, I go, we're not a thing. I don't even know why you're getting mad." But then all of a sudden, she came around that day. She called me up. And she's like, "You know what? Give me your number. We're gonna make this happen." What? That was kind of hot. So then I gave the number for the girl that was in New York, and then they started talking. And then next thing you know, they sent me a group chat. And they were all like now going, yeah, we're going to make this happen. And for a fucking month while I'm working at Swamp People, bro, they would be texting things that they want to do. They would send each other videos in this group text. This whole build up to how this thing was going to be amazing. So the girl from New York shows up. And as soon as she shows up, the girl in LA went silent.
Oh, no.
She ghosted us. And then that girl that was in LA was kind of like that girl. She's very dramatic, very dramatic. And I kind of knew that was going to happen. But to me, I didn't care. I had this fucking hot, tall, blonde with big ass tits who's a lawyer from fucking New York with me. So to me, I'm like, whatever. But I have to give it up to the girl that was from New York because she's a lawyer. She just didn't like losing, bro. So you know how she made it happen? On the last day that she was here, she got so fucking pissed off. She's like, man, fuck this bitch. All this build up for nothing. I'm going to make this shit happen. So she texts her and says, why don't you meet me at this bar? So I'm fucking exhausted because me and this girl have been fucking all weekend. So I'm like taking a nap in my room. And then she goes, can I borrow your car to go meet her at this bar that I convinced her to meet me at? I'm like, fuck no, nobody drives my car. I'm like, get an Uber because I love my car so much. So then she got an Uber and she went there. Then about an hour later, I get awoken up from my nap because I hear the door close and both of them are now giggling. Now, what I didn't realize was the lawyer chick played some fucking mindfuck game where she convinced the girl from LA to have the threesome under the idea of I hate Mike too.
Really?
She manipulated her. She was like, man, fuck Mike. Mike is a fucking piece of shit or whatever. She goes, you know what we should do? We should go over there and tie him up and then start having sex with him and then leave him tied up in the chair and then we can just fuck each other in the room together.
Wow.
So what happened was they showed up.
Business.
They showed up. They started fucking like making me get naked. They went in my fucking closet, brought out a bunch of ties, tied me to my office chair. Right? Then they took a humiliating picture of me naked tied to my office chair. Then they both proceeded to blow me, and it didn't even last 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden they were like, he, and they left and they went in the bedroom. And now I'm stuck to this fucking chair. And then to make matters worse, the one girl gets up, the one from New York, she gets up, and where I was sitting in my apartment, she turns my vanity mirror so that I could see the reflection of the bedroom.
Nice.
No, it's not nice. I'm tied to a fucking chair, motherfucker. So in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But then the one girl didn't tie the knot that well. The other girl apparently was in the fucking scouts. So I fucking like untied myself. And then we ended up making it happen. But it was still kind of awkward because the girl from LA, I could tell she wasn't into it because she wasn't even wet.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So the whole thing was like, yay, it happened. Right? But at the same time, I'm like, on the level of type of threesome, that was probably on the bottom of my list. You know?
I don't know. That sounds pretty fucking. That sounds like a psychological thriller, dude.
It was, man, but I'm not about that shit.
Crazy, dude.
It was out of control, bro. It was the fact that I almost like the girl from New York. I'm gonna have to be like, bro, you are a bro for life. That was some fucking like. I'm going to make this fucking shit happen, and I'm going to go to this bar, and I'm going to manipulate this girl into us both hating you so that I can get her into the apartment. I'm just like, it's genius. But then it kind of sucked because this other girl, the one from LA, the sex with her is usually great, but then to see her all like dried up and not really into it and pretending.
Looking like a raisin.
She was like pretending to be a part of it, and then I was just like, this is fucking weird. But at the same time, out of all people that have never got a threesome, that's still a high five moment, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like I think that's a win. I put that down as a win for you. I mean,
it
a
was.
lot of people don't even have threesome.
No, you're right.
You got to realize that, like,
and the fact that it was two girls that I was kind of almost like I used to be seeing, kind of thing. So it was kind of also hot that I got two girls that I've already been with to come together with me. That's kind of an ego boost right there already.
Yeah, there's probably some guy sitting at home like, married to his wife that he's been with since fucking high school. Hasn't fucking fucked anybody but her for fucking 20 years. Just listening to your ass going, mid-range threesome.
Yeah. Dude. And then he's going on Instagram. He's unfollowing me. And he's going to be the next 3,000 people that want to follow me over the next fucking last 3 months, bro.
Those people are probably just losing their accounts or something like that. They're probably not just unfollowing you for no reason.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's also like the amount of people that have been following me compared to like how it was before. Like just before it clamped down, I was getting 10,000 followers a day, bro.
That's killer.
It was
super awesome.
Ridiculous. And now I'm just like, how do I bring that back? Start showing my dick or something.
You started OnlyFans?
Yeah. All right, bro. We've been at this for 2 hours, homie. This shit went up.
Is this a long podcast for you?
No, I mean, I've had a podcast that went 4 hours, but I really try to keep it within an hour, hour and a half. But sometimes you flow with people so well that the time flies, So
I thought this was a great podcast.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Especially breaking down like, ChatGPT, your views on God. I mean, the one thing that I think I might have told you this, and I said to people on the podcast before, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. In terms of thinking about God and if it's real or not, what blew me away was in 2015, I took 10 grams of mushrooms on an empty stomach in Bali on Friday the 13th on a full moon beach party. And I astro projected, left my body. I met this female glowing deity in the stars. And she gave me my whole fucking plan for life. She downloaded all this information and she said, stop producing reality TV. The only real reason you're producing it is you love the ego boost you get when you go home to Detroit and your friends introduce you to these girls at the clubs as, this is my Hollywood producer friend. And then she's like, she's like, no, that's the only reason you're doing that. She goes, you should go back to comedy. And then she gave me a whole plan on how to invest my real estate. And ever since I came back from that trip, I followed everything that she's done. Right now, I'm about at 16 homes, and I've been doing stand-up for only 6.5 years, and I'm already fucking headlining. And to me, what's crazy is I met her on this mushroom trip. It was so real. I felt the thing that I met was so fucking real. She gave me all this fucking information. I followed it to a T. I've been more happier than I've ever been. And now I'm wondering, is that thing that I met real? Now, to make it even crazier is 2 years after that trip, Mike, I met this woman in the sky. I called her the Mosquito Queen because she had like wings coming out of her and she'd morph from like a woman to an insect. And then I was like, that's all I could call her was the Mosquito Queen. 2 years into it, I'm at 9 homes. And I'm starting to do stand-up comedy. And I went on Reddit to look up ayahuasca. And someone on Reddit said, I had my first ayahuasca trip. Ask me anything. And the question that got voted to the top was, did you see her?
Whoa.
Bro, that blew me away. And then when I looked up what they were talking about, they called her Mother Ayahuasca. And when you do a Google image search for Mother Ayahuasca, every fucking picture is a woman in the stars. So before I even knew what the fuck she was and that everyone was meeting her, I meet her in Indonesia on 10 grams of mushrooms. She gives me my entire fucking plan for my whole life. That's something that I should follow. She tells me that I'm doing reality TV for all the fucking wrong reasons. Changed my entire life. And then 2 years after that, I find out everyone's seeing her. Now I'm starting to go, was the fucking thing that I met just in my head, or did I actually meet something?
It was another dimension. It was like somebody from another world.
Or what if it's God?
Or God's within you. You know what I mean? And you can access him or her through doing psychedelics.
There's so many fucking connections with that whole experience that I had, man. Because I told that story and one time at a bar in New York, and this African Muslim guy walked up next to me and he's like, hey man, I heard what you said. He goes, you might want to look into this. He goes, were you raised Muslim? I was like, yeah. He goes, you know, there's a lot of controversy that when Muhammad wrote the Quran, it was under the idea that God is a feminine energy, not a male energy. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, but there's a lot of controversy. A lot of scholars push back against it. But there's these ideas where if you break down Aramaic, the old ancient Arabic scripts, a lot of the things that they write about God come from a feminine thing. So then I just had my Muslim comedian friend on the podcast. Dude, here's how the connection is. He broke down the fucking, every Quran starts with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Every fucking chapter, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, which means in the name of the Lord, the most compassionate, the most merciful. So every chapter reminds you, he's the most compassionate, he's the most merciful, right? He broke down the word Raham. He goes, the word Raham, which means mercy, it comes from the old Aramaic word for the mercy that a mother gives a child when it's in her womb.
Bro, you want to hear the weirdest shit, bro?
So to me, it's like...
Hey, Mike. As you're telling me the story, dude, I'm sitting here right in my office, and I can see outside my window, and just as you're telling me that story, a bald eagle just flew right through right by my window.
You think that has anything to do with God, or is that just America, bro? I think that means we're going to bomb someone really soon.
I don't know. It was like literally a bald eagle, like a real fucking
You saw an
eagle.
Actual bald eagle fly by your window.
I swear to God, I just seen a bald eagle.
With the white face and everything.
With a white head and everything, dude. And I'm not pulling your leg, dude. I just seen a bald eagle fly right through the corner of my window.
You sound like a Republican right now. Now I feel like we're on Fox News all of a sudden. It's like,
dude,
hey, you were talking about God and a bald eagle just flew right by our window. That means God loves America.
When you're talking about this shit.
What's that?
What, you want a turkey? Yeah, you're like picking a turkey.
Yeah, if it was a camel. If it was a camel, that's when I'd be like, oh yeah, that's some fucking that's God right there for sure. Because what's a camel doing in Michigan? But to me, it's like even in the Quran, like now there's this. He brought this up where it's like the word mercy in the Quran comes from the mercy a mother gives its baby while it's in the womb. The idea is, what has the baby done to deserve that mercy from the mother? Because it's in the womb. And the idea is the baby doesn't have to do anything. The baby deserves the mercy. So that's how deep mercy is in the Quran. And then now I'm just like blown away. I meet this thing in the sky. It's a fucking woman. 2 years later, I find out everyone's meeting her. I meet this Muslim guy at a bar who tells me to look into it because in the Quran, God is actually feminine. And then I have a friend of mine that just pointed it out on my podcast about 2 months ago. So now, man, to be honest, man, like even after that experience that I had, this idea of something out there is even more real. Even though I stay agnostic, you know, but it's even more real is what it feels like.
Well, there's definitely something. There's definitely, it'd be ignorant to say we know for sure, but there's definitely something. And, that's what brings people together, brother. I mean, like, what are the chances that we meet? You know what I mean? We go down this journey together and then all of a sudden, here we are. But you really just make me want to take mushrooms. That's what you do.
Bro, I got like 10 grams of mushrooms sitting in my fucking apartment right now. And I also have a DMT pen. If you're a cop, this is a lie.
Yeah.
This is a lie.
I like the idea of doing mushrooms, but I got to find a time to do them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm always too busy to.
Are you microdosing? I love microdosing.
No, I haven't had mushrooms. Actually, I don't think I've had them. No. Yeah, actually, the last time I had them I had them on New Year's Eve afterwards for a little bit, but they weren't that great.
But the time before that was with me in Venice.
With you, yeah. That was a fun time. That was a good day.
That was a good day. I had a real fun time that day, bro. That was really fun. I haven't really tripped in a very long time because when I did DMT almost 3 years ago, that trip was so intense. I kind of had my fill. So now when I take mushrooms, dude, I only take like maybe a quarter of a gram or half a gram, so I don't trip. It just feels good. Like microdosing is great.
Yeah, I think I like that because it just makes you have in a good mood. You're like
and it puts you in a flow state. Like I find that creatively. If I take like right now, if I take 1 gram of mushrooms and then I decide to sit down and write, there's gonna be a lot of fucking ideas flowing out. It just puts you in that flow state. It's great, bro.
I want to be outside. The last time I took mushrooms, I was seeing Green Day. That was the last time I tripped on mushrooms. It was so fucking awesome.
When did you see Green Day? That's not too long ago then.
In Lollapalooza, friggin' last August, end of July, and literally Green Day puts on one hell of a fucking show.
No shit, they're probably old as fuck right now.
They are, dude. But the guy knows how to work an audience, dude. The guy had everybody humming together. It was like a big old hive, dude.
And you were tripping.
Oh, dude, I was like literally perma smile. Just literally just soaking in the music of my childhood.
Nice, bro.
Loving it. And I would look left and right. I have these memories ingrained in my brain
from that moment.
People smiling.
Nice.
And people just enjoying the moment and just how it was literally what I felt like what life was about is those moments. Literally I had front row, dude. Right on.
Sometimes I think we forget the effect that we have on people when we put on a good show. Sometimes I like you go to a good show like that and you feel one with the crowd and you're having such a great time with this performer that's fucking curating this good time. And sometimes we forget that we do that too, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? Sometimes I forget that. Sometimes I forget. It's like, bro, I just made fucking 500 people all laugh together. That's fucking got to be a great feeling for those people in the audience. Then it takes me back to the times when I watched stand-up comedy before I ever actually was a comedian and how those fucking moments made me feel good. I get out of the club and I feel fucking great. But I think sometimes as performers, we take that shit for granted, bro.
Oh, it's easy to disconnect from it. You know what I mean? Where you're going, you're making everybody else laugh, but then you get off stage and your reality is I got to
sell these t-shirts.
I got to do this next thing, Yeah. I'm not done working,
But I'm sure you've had people tell you this too, man. But I'll never forget this one time. This happened a few times, but this one time it really, really, really fucking made me feel good. I was doing a show in Arizona, House of Comedy, and I murked it. I fucking killed, bro. And I'm talking about it was an all-packed room. I basically busted the fucking mortar off the fucking building, man. I was opening for Josh Adam Myers. And I crushed. And then when I got off the stage, I was selling merch. This black lady walks up to me, kind of looks like she's kind of been drained a little bit, but then she puts her hand on my shoulder and she goes, "Thank you. I had so much fun." I was like, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate that." And then she grips my shoulder even harder. She goes, "No, I don't think you understand how good you made this day, because I had the worst day today. And I'm so glad I came here because I feel so much better." And I was just like, dude, sometimes you forget, man.
Yeah, dude, I had a chick slide into my DM and it said, "You probably are not going to read this or respond, but I just want to let you know that I didn't even want to come to your show tonight. I didn't think it was going to be good, and I came. I'm so glad I did. It was amazing, and I usually don't have fun at things like this. And you really did a great job." And I was like, man, that's nice to affect somebody like that. Where it's like, even though they were against it, they were like, "I'm not even gonna have fun." They were like, "Ah." They're like, "I did, and I just want to let you know." But she sounded like she had like some kind of depression. You know what I mean?
What, she left you like? Was it she typed it out, or she gave you her voice, like a voice message?
No. Oh, it was like a message. But yeah, it was like a message, not like a voice message.
Okay.
And I was like, man, like pretty intense. You know what I mean? Like,
sometimes we forget, dude. Sometimes I'm just going up there telling jokes and then I go home. But then I forget, man. It's like we're like a purveyor of a good time. And then sometimes I have to watch comedy and just enjoy it to realize, yeah, that's exactly what we do, bro. It's like, it's very easy to forget. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's why, like, back to the earlier thing that we talked about when you talked about your spirituality and how, like, you always want to give gratitude. And I think gratitude is a very, very important emotion to exercise. Even if people say that maybe religion is fake, maybe there is no God, but what is real is the feeling that you get when you take time to give thanks. And you don't even have to give thanks to a specific person. You can literally give thanks to what's in just nothing. If I just say thank you for everything right now in this room, and I'm praying, thank you for this everything. Thank you for all of these blessings that I have in my life. Even if I don't believe that it's going to be heard by a God, it's been shown scientifically that it helps you. There's all kinds of chemical changes that happen inside your brain and in your body when you just take time to be grateful for what you have. And I think that even if you think religion is not real or whatever, you can't discount the emotion of gratitude. And then I think some people, they need a God to give that gratitude to for them to feel that. And what's wrong with that?
And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. And that's I think we're maybe we're in the spiritual battlefield, you know what I mean, where you got people trying to say there's no God, and it's almost like they're trying to put you in this, like they're trying to bring you to hell, you know what I mean? Like, there's no God, don't worry about it. Don't worry about any of these things.
But the thing is that even people who don't believe in God, they're still good people. I know a lot of people, dude, they're atheists, they don't even believe in God, but they still exude all of the moral capacity. They still love. They still give thanks. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily think that everybody needs religion or needs, quote unquote, God to be acting divinely, or morally. I think there's a lot of people I know that have nothing to do with God whatsoever, and they're more charitable and loving and caring and empathetical than some people that I know that have religions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely. I mean, just because you say that you believe in something, it's all about what you do.
Exactly.
I mean,
bro.
actions are definitely more than
amen.
Any kind of words.
Like, religion is a tool, It's just like it's a knife. You can use that knife to cut up some steak to make a dinner, or you can murder someone with it.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely it. You could feed yourself, or you can cause destruction.
Amen.
Like, I mean, and that's a lot of what life is what you choose to focus your energy on. Like, Life is wild, dude. Life's wild.
Life is a trip. It's a psychedelic trip. This is a
Really?
psychedelic trip that we're living. It's fucking, we take for granted what life is, but when you fucking really look at it from a bird's eye view, you're like, what the fuck is this universe, man? And what the fuck, how is everything on this planet work in synchronicity? And is it a mistake? Maybe, but there's something about the human brain that makes us go, there's no way it's just a mistake. But yet at the same time, there's a part of me that goes, maybe human beings are the only species on the planet that has an ego for us to think that we're so great that something greater must have made us. So I'm like thinking on like both sides of the spectrum. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean that does make sense. And it's like weird. It's weird that we like think, because we just think like, what's the point of anything? And why do we even go on? You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people go through so much shit. You know what I mean? Like so much negative things happen to people where they're like, wow, what the fuck's the point of anything? And I mean, then there's this thing like that keeps pulling us forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're just like, hey, we got to just keep on moving. If we like it or not, we just got to move forward.
See, man, that's why I'm glad I got you on the podcast, because, dude, it's like, as long as I've known you, man, you've always been this guy that's just been a very positive force in comedy. You always have a can-do spirit. You're always looking to the horizon for the next thing. And you're also somebody who's able to stay grounded and in reality and in the moment. And I think you harbor a lot of good traits, man. And talking to you on this podcast, it really does, enlighten it to me and everyone else, some things that we can borrow from people like you, And I think that when you talk to people like you that have this mindset, you all pretty much say very much of the similar things, and I think that's a lot of things that people can learn from, I'm going to start taking the 20 day thing, 20 things a day for my business, and also like making the list bigger to even cross off the smaller things that I do, like posting a fucking thing on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
And
it all adds up.
Because well, I think giving yourself the acknowledgement that something was completed, even if it's just making your bed in the morning, having that on a list, being like, boom, I did that. That's a very good bump in motivation right there. Like, oh, dude, I did create something. I did complete something today. Sometimes I take for granted the things that I do, and I'm just like, I only did one thing today, where in essence, I did probably 25 little things that I probably am not telling myself good job for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the important thing with the list is that once you get your list done, you could take a break and go enjoy the rest of your life and enjoy your friends and your family and say, hey, I did what I said I was going to do today. I was accountable to myself.
Sure.
And now I can also take this time guilt-free
and start loving
and enjoy
and
the time you got, because life just keeps on slipping.
I know, bro. It's coming for us, bro. But we might be immortal soon, though.
We'll probably just miss it.
I don't know, dude. I think it's coming a lot closer. They're saying that our life expectancy is probably going to go up to at least 150 now.
Yeah, you hear the thing with the DNA where they can manipulate the DNA to make it live forever. You know what I mean?
That's like, what they're trying to work on. I'm right now taking metformin, which is a drug for diabetics. And the reason why I take it is not because I'm diabetic at all, but because it extends your life. They're finding out,
really?
Yeah, because so out of all the diabetes drugs that came out after like the metformin's been out for 20 years, scientists tried to figure out why is it that when diabetes patients take metformin, out of all the other drugs that are out there for diabetes, for some reason, the people that take metformin lived 15 to 20% longer than the other diabetics. And when they looked into it further, they found out that it actually slows down cell death.
Really?
It like slows down the clock. So now there's new research. They're pumping money into trying to figure out, is metformin one of the components that's going to help us be immortal in the future, which is fucking crazy. So I take metformin to try to slow down the aging process.
That's great. And they also got you can eat like not eat it, but like get that,
suck a dick.
Like, No, like placentas and stuff, and like umbilical cords.
Oh
Like
yeah, there
they're
is
like,
that too.
because that's all like the new cells, and they like rehab all
Stem
your.
cells. You got a lot of
Yeah.
stem cells. It's kind of like that thing that they were doing where have you heard the study where they took old mice and young mice and then they switched their bloods out and they took the old mice blood and put it in the young mice and they put the young mice blood into the old mice and then the old mice started acting younger because they had the new blood, and then the young mice started acting older because they had the older mice's blood. And then like some of these people in Silicon Valley are actually doing these blood transfusions where they'll like cycle out their blood for somebody else's blood that's younger, and it's supposed to revitalize you, bro.
I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan does that.
Probably, man. I mean,
Rogan,
no, I think if Joe Rogan did that, he would actually talk about it because he's very transparent about the stuff that no, he's never done it. He has talked about the people that have done it. He hasn't done it himself.
Like, I mean, like as long as it's done ethically, it's probably good. Probably all right.
Bro, I'm taking peptides now. I just started on peptides yesterday.
Oh yeah, I've taken some peptides before, but they're kind of expensive. But I guess it's like, you're not gonna be. You can't take the money with you, so you might as well spend it on shit that makes you feel good.
Yeah, the way I look at it, if you're gonna invest in your health, that's everything, bro.
Oh yeah.
I
mean, hopefully everything gets cheaper. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's going to, man. Even the peptides that I bought, they weren't really that expensive. But this is my first go around trying them out, and I'm gonna see how it is, man. Because one of them is BPC 157, which is supposed to speed up your body's healing. And then another one is sermorelin, which you take it at nighttime, and then when you sleep, it increases your body's ability to create more human growth hormone. So that'll also help. And I noticed that a lot of people said that when you take it, you sleep like a rock. Dude, last night I took it, and I take a sleep app that monitors my sleep. I was out like a light last night, bro. So I'm going to be experiencing with this stuff. I'm also on low dose testosterone because, I'm like in my 40s now. So I'm like, I'm just taking enough stuff just to slow down the process and stay young as long as possible. I'm not trying to get jacked or steroided up or anything. I'm just trying to slow down the process, man.
But you are jacked, Mike.
I'm not jacked.
Fuck, bro.
No, bro. A lot of it is also
security at the comedy club and headline.
I'm losing fat now, so I'm going to start looking skinnier and shit. I'm going to look like a real Yemeni. All right, buddy. Well, let's close this out. Anything else you want to say to the listeners that are going to be listening to this? Where they can find you, what they should look out for in terms of what you're doing going forward? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah. Number one, keep supporting my boy Mike Eshaq. Start sharing his clips on Instagram so that he can go viral. And then you can follow me on Instagram at I am Mike Ball, and you can check out all my stuff on my website. www.mikeball.com. So that's mikeball.com.
Oh, really? So it's mikeball.com.
Yeah, mikeball.com. Yeah, some
Whoa. So you got to spell mikeball.com.
Yeah. Because
you couldn't get like Mike Ball comedy or funny Mike Ball or something like that.
All that noise.
I mean, you got to put .com. That's fucking weird, no?
No, I know, but I did it and it's working. People know it.
Well, that's fucking great, bro.
It's working. I mean, it's confusing to everybody, but then again, I mean, look at how long we spent talking about my website.
Yeah, but you can also create another fucking a name and still link that to your same website.
Yeah, I mean, I could do a lot of things.
Are you putting those on your videos? Are you putting the website? Because I have my website smack dab in the middle of my video every time.
I should do that. I should put that right in the middle, but sometimes it's on the bottom, sometimes it's on, here. But I'll let Steve know that to put. But I tell him all the time, like, hey, because Steve does my clips and stuff, and I'm like, hey, put that in there, and I mean, well, yeah, I should make sure that's on there.
Watch my videos, man, because that's what I do. All my videos have the same overlay. In the upper right hand corner is my name, and then right smack dab in the middle, just under the subtitles, is always there, MikeFromDetroit.com, and I even have it shimmer every 10 seconds to draw people's eyes to it and stuff. And I noticed it's helped because some of the videos that went viral, I'd go check my my website traffic, and it would spike like a motherfucker.
Really? Yeah. See, I like what you did here. Ticks MikeFromDetroit.com. I like that in the bottom of your thing. Yeah, that's sweet. The nut and bust. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
This is good.
Well, that one's an older video. You got to watch because that's a repost of an older video. But if you watch like another video, like the Kids Are Terrible video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Smack dab in the middle, MikeFromDetroit.com, upper right-hand corner, my name. It's always there. And then now I got the little thing that comes up that the graphic that tells people to click and follow. I have a subliminal heart-like thing that comes up to get people to like the video. I started adding, also I learned this from Renee Vaca. I put this on my videos now. At the bottom at some point, I say, tell me where to perform, comment, and tag a venue near you.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's good too, because what happens is they'll start tagging the venue, and then when they tag the venue, I'll reach out to the venue on Instagram and be like, hey, people are tagging me. Can I get a date?
Yeah, that's really smart. That's super smart. Yeah,
but that's just me. That's just me also learning from other people. You know, there's things that I developed, and there's things from me seeing what other people are doing, going, oh, that's a very good idea.
You're the master, bro. The 100,000 on there, and that's what some people. But you put the energy towards it, like you said. All right, I'm gonna have some great videos, and you did it, and you found out how to do it.
Yeah, now I just got to learn how to crack the algorithm again. That's all. And
you will. I mean, it's just like, you just keep putting it in there, and eventually something will happen. And it's like it won't be able. There's just no stopping you, Mike.
There's no stopping you, Mike.
Well, I mean, and there's different paths. That's a good thing about comedy too, is there's different paths.
Yeah.
There's no wrong way to do it.
That's true.
And it's like you just gotta keep at it, and one day we're gonna be looking back because my show is called The Future Comedy Show, and we're gonna look back at all these acts that have been on the show and where they've been and what ended up happening to them, what happened in their careers. And dude, with your work ethic and the way that you write, the way that you work your ass off. There's no stopping you, dude. It's just we're gonna be laughing one day, smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
In the wait, where did you do those mushrooms at? In Maui or where was that at?
What? Bali, Indonesia.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Indonesia smoking a cigar, dude. High on fucking mushrooms out of our fucking mind.
Bro, if you go to Bali, there's a comedy club there now.
Dude, I'll go to Bali. Let's go.
Fucking dope, bro. All right, buddy. Well, I gotta get going. It's time for me to start doing my 20 things on my to-do list today.
Damn, man, you're just getting started. Oh yeah, in LA it's only like 3 o'clock, isn't it?
It's 4:25 right now.
Yeah, I got a date I'm late for.
Hey.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me, buddy.
I appreciate you, bro.
And let me hit me up if you're gonna come.
I will.
You're gonna 9th and 10th. I'm booked on those days, but what time? When are you flying in?
I don't know yet. I haven't figured that out. I might even try to book some more stuff around there.
Okay, I was gonna say we go like catch a baseball game or something.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
All right, bro. Peace, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Public Yemeni #1.